Hi, ho everyone, my name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome to the GG Over Easy podcast featuring this week's guest, Th3Jez, who you'll be hearing from very shortly. And in today's episode, we take up a lot of his time, probably irritating him, because we spend a lot of time talking about Australia and his time in America and the differences and some similarities and some stories he's got and the stereotypes and what is it stuff he probably talks about with everyone and he hates it, but he bared through it for us and we appreciate that. It only took about an hour. Then we learn his lore. We figure out where Jez came from, how he got to where he is now. Then we go on to talk about even more fun stuff, some content creation stuff, some TF2 gambling shenanigan or something like that. We have Patreon questions as per usual, all this kind of stuff. It's a great episode. I mean, what do you expect when you have the one, the only Jez? And with that, I think Rob has a review for us.
Oh, we're going to do a review? All right. This one is the best podcast to not have a Jamie. 5 stars. And by the way, I scrolled past a 1 star. Yeah. He left a review too, but we don't read 1-star reviews.
Jez, say you hate that person.
F that guy.
That's right. That's what happens when you 1-star us.
Yeah, our guests say they hate you, not us.
Yeah, and we're not going to say your name because that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. This one is from Michael Sarah, best guest. This podcast brightens my day every day. I have to wake up for my summer job at 5 every day and ride my bike 6 miles to get to work. This podcast makes it so much easier. Whether it's talking about pooping out lasagna or telling an eye-watering tale about how Arcadum rose to D&D heights, this podcast never lets you down. At least not as much as Connor did in Rob's early in relay race. Oh, okay. This podcast gets as many stars as Destiny 2 has concurrent players, about 69,000.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Thank you, Michael Sarah, best guest.
Thank you.
Enjoy the podcast, everybody.
Let's get into it. And welcome to GG Easy episode 49, featuring none other than the Th3Jez. The 3. Th3Jez. Or just Jez.
Pretty hip of you, bro, to not do an E and use a 3. I really thought about that too when I was...
In hindsight, would I drop the 3 and just do an E? You know I would. It's very dumb.
No, don't say that. No, you were ahead of your time. Honestly, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be... What could I even replace?
The I could be a 1.
But is that it? There's no R, is there?
The T could be a 4.
Wait, 2's an R, isn't it? M2.
No, 2 has, but
F2.
the R has to have an I.
No, but if you're only using numbers, 2 would be R.
Okay, but then you can use a 1, but the 1 it's a capital R then, and it looks kind of hip.
Okay, I don't know what you want from me.
Guys, all I'm saying is my own agency sometimes gets my email address wrong, so it's very problematic, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Wait, so your email has a 3 too?
Yeah.
It's brand consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency across the board.
Does everything have a 3? Like Instagram?
I don't have Instagram. My wife has Instagram, and that's enough.
That's enough for both
Instagram?
of us.
Yeah.
You need Instagram, Jez. I would love to be informed on your life.
Yeah, I think every guest we've had has brand consistency, and I think I'm the worst when it comes to that. Not by choice. Again, I just chose a name that is apparently everyone wants Mr.
I just
Fruit.
don't know what, like, when you went for like a Smurf account and you didn't get Mr. Fruit. I don't get why you just didn't type out Mr. Fruit, but you went my Mr. Fruit. Like, I feel like there's so many ways you can get around it.
Don't ask me. Go back in time. Well, like, I spelled out Mr. That was taken, like Mr. Fruit, regular Mr. Fruit. Like, I tried every variation. So for some reason, I threw my in front of it. I don't remember why, but I did. Yes, the Australian.
Hi, I'm from Australia, currently living in America, literally in Dado's house. So it's great to be here.
Welcome,
do you ever have shrimp on the?
pot.
Have you ever said I have shrimp on the bobby? Give me a second.
Let's clear this up real quick for you guys.
Yes.
No Australian has ever said that in the history of the country.
Why do we hate? Why do we think that then?
Somebody had to say
what about What about the baby ate my dingo? Does anyone say that over there?
Okay, now that
baby
was
ate
more of
the
a thing.
dingo ate my baby. You know what? Regardless, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, if your kid ate a dingo, your kid would be hardcore.
Have you ever
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
murdered something.
have you ever seen the YouTube channel Gary the Goat?
No.
Oh, rest in peace, Gary the Goat.
I want you to watch.
Gary.
I want you to watch that and tell me
Okay.
whether or not that's the Australian life. Because as far as
When
I'm
I think
concerned, that's Australia.
Yeah, that's exactly. As far as I'm concerned,
Go on,
Gary
Gary.
running. He's got you some speed. Go on there, Gary. But like, that's
It's
really hard. Like,
ridiculous.
an Australian accent is something that is so. It's not English. Like, when I do a British accent, it goes like, see, this is British, and it's totally. But Australia is. I can only say it when I say shrimp on the barbie. Like, that's the only time I can like really
That
kind
wasn't
of
even
do
very
it.
good.
It's hey,
Right.
he shook his head yes. The
Yeah, no,
Australian's
I can see where you're
shrimp
coming
on the
from, so I'll
barbie.
give it to you.
I
He was
used to
giving
watch
you
a lot-
Technicality.
like it's but so no Australians say shrimp on the Barbie.
No, I'm pretty sure that was just literally an American ad campaign, like back in the day, trying to do some tourism ties, and it's worked clearly because
I'm
you guys
going
still
because
say
of
it.
that.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
why'd you come? I'm looking for shrimp on the Barbie. Can you?
I just want one Australian to say
I'm
it
just-
in the wild. Like, I don't want them to be cued to say it. I just want to hear it as I'm walking. Like, hey,
Right.
hon, did you throw some shrimp on the Barbie? It's just like, oh,
I don't. What even are shrimp, guys? Is it just? Would we call that a prawn? I'm not checking with my wife.
Oh, that's,
But you don't know what
Right.
a shrimp is?
a shrimp is. Wait.
Is a shrimp just a
isn't
prawn?
shrimp like a universal thing?
Yeah.
Wait.
A shrimp and prawn.
A shrimp
different?
is like the little cues. Like, look
Shrimp and
like a
prawns
little.
are-
They're
A shrimp
different.
is like it has like little legs.
No, he knows what shrimp are. He's asking for like what
If they're the same,
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, I thought you
We
were
have
genuinely
one
like,
prawn.
I don't know what shrimp is.
I don't know what a
No,
prawn
no.
is. So
Can we
like,
have Jamie pull it up, guys, and just fact check that
Jamie?
really quick?
Are shrimp and
yep.
prawns the same thing? Shrimp
Jamie's
and
on
prawns
it.
have different
Shrimp.
anatomies. They're not the same.
oh, okay.
So prawns have branching gills, claws on 3 pairs of their legs, and second pincers that are larger than their front ones. Shrimp, on the other hand, have a lamellar or plate-like gills and claws on 2 pairs of their legs.
Thank you, Jamie.
Side question: do you guys like cocktail sauce that comes with shrimp?
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate cocktails.
I hate it. It's
Dude,
disgusting.
dude,
It's so
like,
gross.
I don't know what cocktail sauce even is. What even is that?
Wait, you've
It's
never
like
had
it's like the
shrimp and
red
cocktail
sauce,
sauce?
that like he doesn't even know what a shrimp is, dude. Don't be
Yeah.
insensitive.
what are they doing over there in Australia, Jeff?
Yeah. So we have prawns in Australia. They like basically look identical. So I think we would just call them prawns, and we do have prawns. It's a
We have-
seafood.
So
Yeah.
put
We
a
have
prawn
prawns
on the
here,
Barbie.
but-
Is that better?
Yeah, put a
Yeah.
But do they say
on the
Bobby? Is
Barbie.
Bobby like barbecue?
We would say Barbie. Yeah, we would say Barbie instead of barbecue.
So we're not that far off. I mean,
It's pretty close.
I'm
yeah.
sure an Australian has uttered the words prawn on the Barbie before.
I've never seen an Australian put a prawn on a Barbie. So
That is true.
or like that's not a
Why
knife.
would they be putting it
this
on the
is a
Barbie?
knife.
It's a
Like
knife.
that- yeah, that's what like
You
I always say. I've never seen Crocodile Dundee. I just say it all the time.
Right. Again,
Is,
I think he's American as well, not Australian. So
Yeah.
Is Steve Irwin like a national hero?
he is revered, and it's still too soon to even joke about, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No.
I mean,
No jokes here.
No jokes here.
I remember
we
I remember
stand.
where I was when I heard that news. I cried.
Which is crazy because you're like, we were what, 6 or 7?
It hit. No. I was like 11.
Oh man, we were
Mm.
I don't
no
know.
way. I was not in P Town when that happened. I'm guessing
I was
like
actually-
2003.
I was in vacation on Hawaii when I got the news. And then the hotel had stingrays in the pond, and I was looking at it like, why? I said, why'd you do my boy like that? Like, I just couldn't look at him the same, man. And then I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, they're like, no, they've had the tails taken. I was like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Do you like? Have you ever seen a duckbill platypus, Jazz? Like
Platypus, I've seen.
Those are
in
my like
zoos.
favorite.
Yeah, they're very cute.
One of my favorite ideas. It's where people have these ideas when they're stoned.
Thank you.
Is
Reverend.
like in Australia zoos. Like, do they just have normal animals that like groundhogs and like guinea pigs and
Yeah.
hamsters that we think are like normal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
don't
oh,
have it-
whoa, look at that feral like house cat. Like,
Wait, what is a groundhog? Is that also a real animal?
like it's
Well,
like
yes.
Groundhog
Yes,
is
yeah, it's like a big
hog.
rat.
It's
A big
big
squirrel
rat.
with no tail.
Isn't
Like,
Isn't
Chilled
it the
with crab.
groundhog, that like famous meme where he's like, dun, dun? Like that
that's
Not the-
that's
Or is that
not
a prairie
gra-
dog? I
It's a
don't know
prairie
which
The
one.
dog.
groundhogs are like big and fat and gross.
Kind of like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
groundhogs are like chunky prairie dogs.
So, Jet, how long did you live in Australia for?
Wait, first off, on a scale
well-
of 1 to you already
Australia.
feel violated and harassed about your country, you come on here, we don't even get anything. We're just like, dude, shrimp on the Barbie, man. To be fair, that was
Yeah.
not my intro.
Shrimp
But I
on
did-
Bobby.
I think I did. And to be fair, you did want to talk about Australia versus USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I did expect this. We do get this a lot. I have two, I think, cliche mini stories of like the most Australian thing you can ever think of actually happening in the country. Number one is spider related. Number two is snake related. I could do either.
Why not both?
It's-
Why not both?
Okay, no less dos. Okay, spider story. Unironically, this is going to sound made up. I promise you it's not. I was
Oh,
once
God.
at a set of lights in the car, like at a big intersection, and I saw a tennis ball sized spider.
I can't be here for this.
Danielle's literally exiting the room as we
I'm out.
speak. I was at the front of the lights and I saw a tennis ball sized spider crossing the road at the crosswalk.
Thank you.
No meme.
During the light,
And
he's like,
Amy was with me. I was like, Amy, do you see that spider? And he was just like, do, and he just yeeted across the road. And it was the biggest spider I've ever seen.
he just
And so
takes
that
like
was a real
a
thing.
Man,
top of the
he's just trying
morning?
to get back- He's just trying to get back to work, dude. He was on break.
he's on commute, bro. Come on.
It is on his way to
There's
work.
an old
He-
spider, had a walker and everything.
yeah, he had like a mini top hat. He did doff me a little
Like,
bit.
you're like,
Someone
"Should I
gets
be
out of the
nice and help him
car?"
across?"
Yeah, someone gets out of the car, like, whoa, hold on, like, we gotta help him across.
I gotta help this spider across the Bobby, mate.
Good night.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure we were waiting at the lights because he hit the button, so it was going for him. We're like, God damn it,
Wait.
spiders are out of control.
And
Wait.
that's like a normal thing. Like you
Wait.
just see spiders that big, kind of just all the time there.
That's the biggest spider I've ever seen, and it legitimately was that big. And I was like, I cannot believe this. This is unreal.
So
Like
when you mean
spider-
like
We're moving to America.
like the
Yeah,
like
the
the
body.
body, like the two vertebrae
And
were
then
like
legs
tennis
off
ball.
of it.
I would
like-
say the body was like maybe half a tennis ball, and the legs would have like gone around the tennis ball.
Hell no.
Just like too big.
I had a
IMO.
little one
Just
go
bring it
across
down.
my screen before you guys joined, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and I took my deodorant stick and I went,
Yeah, I hope you don't like
I'm the
spiders, because
same
Rob's
way.
like, oh my god, and he just goes like,
Well,
I'm gonna
it's not-
kill this thing, and then I just hear like, I'm like, Rob, you're right. He's like, just making sure I killed it.
Spiders
'cause,
are
like-
bad for me. It's roaches. That's how I respond to those. Like I can't. I'm actually incapable of taking down a roach. I'll get like a shoe. I'll distance myself.
Well, that's how they've
It's
trained you to
embarrassing.
feel that way, because they can't be killed.
Right.
They're just like, dude, don't even bother. Just
well,
saying.
and I just feel like the bugs in Australia, like when Jez hears like, we don't like spiders and we don't like cockroaches, he like laughs at us, dude, because it's
Dude,
like,
I've seen literally 3 spiders since we moved here almost to 2 years ago, and they were all like just the tiniest little thing, and I'm like, oh.
hey, dude,
Oh,
those guys
so
will get
cute.
you, all right? Well, I hate
Yeah.
those little things. I couldn't imagine what it would be like just like on a normal day. Like if I saw on my wall one that was like even half the size of a tennis ball, I don't think I would go in that room ever again.
We do get huntsmans a lot in Australia, which like
Mhm.
just have the legs, which are just so big. And
The
it's
huntsman spiders.
yeah.
I think that's the
They'll-
one that was
okay.
There was like a viral picture a while ago, earlier on the internet, where there was like a U.S. soldier and he was holding up a spider, and it looked like it was like the size of his leg.
Oh no, that's a
And-
camel spider.
Yeah,
Like
it was
yeah.
like an optical illusion. It wasn't that big, but like those spiders, and then pretty much every spider in Australia are the biggest ones. And then you have the deadliest, of course, the redback. Have you ever
Mhm.
seen one of those?
When I was younger, yeah, I've seen them kind of cruising around. Do you think it's a coincidence that like the majority of the top 10 most deadly spiders and or snakes are
No.
all in Australia? Of course not. They're collaborating, and it's only a matter of time.
before they rise. I mean,
These
sooner
dead
or
spiders
later,
was going to work across the
commuting
street, so
spiders are just a thing. You're just
Yeah,
going to
he's
be like,
commuting.
they're going to make you get on the other side of the sidewalk. You're like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Would you
please,
rather
sorry.
have to encounter like the snakes there or the spiders there?
The spiders are so annoying because they're so hard to see till the last moment. They can live literally anywhere and they can be like paper thin. They're so fast. You look away for a second to go and get the spray, and they've moved just anywhere, and you'll never find them again. So that is annoying.
Ooh, I'm getting
Snakes are less common.
snakes.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the snake story?
That being said, I did live like kind of like right on the bush, we would call it in Australia, like just right on like a bunch of like forest essentially, in a coastal town before we moved. And one day I was closing the door to like go to the shops, and I heard like a rustling, and I kind of turned my head, and slithering along my fence line was the biggest black snake I've ever seen. And it was so close to me, guys. What is 2 meters in America speak? How
6
do I
feet.
make that more confusing? 6 feet?
I was like,
Probably a little more than 6 feet.
So
maybe
the
like 10
so the
feet,
spider or the snake was social distancing. That's very how nice of him.
which I
2 meters.
appreciated. I was scared though, and I
And
couldn't believe it. I was like,
keep that distance.
yeah, because it was just so close. It just slithered on past and then just went onto my fence. I was like, cool, never leave
Yeah,
my
Yeah,
house
this
again.
is this is yours now.
So like on Jez's murder meter, like how high is the black snake?
I never saw him again. So after I like signed over my property under his name and just gave that to him, I think he was chill.
That's your problem.
Yeah.
Take the deed, man.
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah.
give me the slip. You're right. Yeah.
The last
Say no
snake
more.
that had it didn't
Yeah.
really take care of it.
yeah. So
That's
look,
crazy.
it's not ideal any of it, but yeah, here we are, still alive.
So you never were like bit or anything like that, or like
No.
had okay.
yeah, no.
You're lucky,
We
dude.
like-
we know to stay away. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, there it is, stay away, be safe, etc.
See, like we have like gardener snakes here, and like you could just like hold them and like that kind of thing. But like rattlers are like kind of the only thing in Colorado where it's like if you see that, it's just like, hey, you're a snake. I'm a human. I'm gonna stay away from you.
Did I ever tell you about my paw? There was a rattlesnake outside of his house when we were there. We were visiting my Mimi and Pa, and they live out on like an acre of country. I mean, they're like in the middle of nowhere. And the one thing is, I've seen a lot of like black widows there. You always have to watch for those.
Ooh.
But then they have some snakes. They have like water moccasins everywhere, so you can't go in the water. But then the rattlesnake was just straight up on their driveway, which, mind you, their driveway is just dirt, and it's just like on the road. And we were like, somebody was, I think, just trying to go out because they have like a fridge outside with some soda or something. And the rattlesnake was right there, like, bro, I'm pissed because I can be. And so someone goes in like, Pa, there's a rattler out there. And he's like, all right. And so he goes and he
Just
just
imagine little Christian just sitting there like,
what's going on? He just grabs a shovel and he just goes out there. We're like, Pa, be careful. And he just goes, Fatunk, and just slices it in half. And then he just like takes it and just like goes on. I was like, Pa, I love you. If I'm ever in trouble, he was like, no hesitation, nothing. He just went up to it and just whoosh. The rattler's like, and he's like, bro, I've been here before. I was like,
yeah, I would definitely
couldn't do
run
it.
away, screech, and like a banshee out of hell, bro, for real.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, I'm
my dad's done
quarantined
the
in my
exact
house.
same thing. Yeah.
So like
Jesus.
when I think Australia, I just think Australian outback. Like when you live in Australia, you live
Steakhouses
like-
everywhere.
just like you live where Kangaroo Jack was
He's
filmed.
been on
Just-
he's been on this podcast for like 15 minutes, and he's already like, we're really going through as many Australian stereotypes as we can.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Bring it on. What
like
can I say?
they have like, have you ever been to the giant rock? Like it's like actually like it's like the world's biggest rock. Like they
Is
don't
that
call it like
Uluru, the big red one in the desert.
yeah.
Uluru. That's in Western Australia. That's like, is there like a remote place in this country that like you know of but probably don't go there, like Texas?
Uh,
Texas is tight. How dare you?
I guess Florida. Like
No, I haven't been.
Like-
I lived in Florida.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been
but,
to
like,
I feel
you
like-
don't want to go there.
I feel like the places you hear about but don't normally go would be like Midwest, northern states.
Yeah, like
Right.
like
Like
South Dakota,
Montana,
Nebraska,
Minnesota. Yeah.
Oklahoma.
No one's like, hey, let's go let's go to North Dakota today. You know, like that's a
right.
stand.
Anybody want to go to Maine?
Hey,
Whoop.
Bangor,
Actually,
Maine is very nice.
Yeah, so I've never
But-
been to Uluru. That's in the desert, so just RIP. I have stereotypical things that I've done, I guess. I have killed a kangaroo. Kangaroo meat is delicious.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
kangaroo meat is very
Wait,
Fuck
like
kangaroo
we don't
jack.
like dingoes, right? Like
But
kangaroos.
like kangaroos
jerks.
are like pests, right? Like you
Kangaroos
guys,
are pests in Australia.
you don't
yeah.
like kangaroos, but like
Correct.
we think you love them. Like
I guess it's like deer in America. Like it's
Oh,
kind of cute, but also
God, I
so
hate
annoying.
deer.
But deer don't
Right.
do anything though. You know, there's
Right.
not
They
a
just
video
jump in
of
front of your car. And
there's not a
destroy
video
it.
of someone squaring up with a deer, like that one where he sucker punches the kangaroo.
Yeah.
I just imagine that's Australia. You know,
Right. That's pretty accurate, to be honest.
he
Would
just
you go
has he has
toe to
his
toe with a kangaroo?
dog
If
in a
he had
headlock.
Appa,
Dude,
if he had Appa in a headlock.
he only did that because he cares about his dog, but kangaroos usually lean back on the tail and then rip your like stomach open with their feet. So like definitely don't do that.
Oh my
Well,
God.
he was just blinded by rage. If it had my dog, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, I was
exactly.
gonna say
Yeah.
Appa and Olive. He has them like this.
And then I'd be in two pieces, I guess, and I'd just be like, "Ah."
I'm in the corner. Come on, you got
Yeah,
him.
come on, you get him in the third round. Just tire him out.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, those
circles
things are-
around him.
I know they're everywhere, but I think kangaroos are cool. I just like the movie Kangaroo Jack. So they don't talk, right?
Okay,
Yeah, they destroy the land, so you gotta kill them if you can.
so non-stereotypes. This is what I believe is correct about Australia. Feel free to,
Okay.
clear the air here. But as far as I'm aware, there's like southeast where people live and like southwest where people live, kind of like on the coasts. And then a lot of the middle is just desert and not many people live there. And it's mainly just kind of the perimeter and mainly the southern perimeter. Is that
Correct. Everyone is
correct?
literally all on the east coast, and then everything else is desert and bush. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, you have isn't the Great Barrier Reef in Australia?
yes, we have that. That's really nice. That's like up
They
north,
had that.
essentially.
That's
The
got to
same
be
On its way out.
that's got to be some
It-
cool snorkeling or
Yeah.
like scuba diving if you ever have done that.
I'm conflicted. My wife and I actually, our honeymoon was there, and like we were snorkeling essentially over some of the reef, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this isn't right because I can just stand on this reef right now, and I know worse swimmers than me are accidentally standing on the reef all the
Oh,
time.
100%.
Why is this a tourist attraction? Let's get away from this. So
Yeah.
The noble Jez. Oh,
hate to see
a
it.
man after my own heart.
Yeah.
I will say,
It's beautiful.
like, we're asking you, like, did you see that big rock? Did you go to this? It's the same as like someone's like,
Did you go to this?
hey, did you did you do
I'm
this?
embarrassed.
Like, did you go to the biggest rubber band ball? Like random
You say shrimp on the
American
bobby
things?
bait?
I'd be like, no. I mean, there are
Yeah.
things in Colorado. People like, oh my gosh, I want to come here to do this. I'm like, I haven't even done that, and I lived there for at
How
15
many
years.
people go like, how many 14ers have you done? It's like
0.
none. Like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me. It's like it's different when you're there, And I
100%.
mean, I don't actually know. Do you know like relatively the size of Australia? If you put it on America, how
oh,
big
dude,
is
it's
it?
huge.
I feel like it's not that big in comparison. Yeah.
Jamie,
Also,
can you
my
get a
geography
comparison
is
picture?
kind of a weak point for me, but yeah.
So
Nah.
So to get off the topic of, hey mate, shrimp on the bobby mate,
Yeah.
how kangaroos, I'm very interested in what you like when you moved to America. Now that you've been here for a while, what is something here that you were just like, man, if I had to pick between Australia and America,
Go
like,
back.
this thing in the US is just
Go.
I don't think I can go
Freedom. I'm just kidding.
like what in America has made you been like, damn,
Get
like,
out
this is
while you
tight, like,
can, dude.
Yeah, run.
I'm staying here for sure.
Run.
Get out.
There is literally one good thing about America, and the rest is bad. No
Oh.
meme.
Thank
I
you. the
wrote a
podcast.
list out, and so I can tell you that that's real.
All right, we have pros. 1. Cons.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, the food's tight, but oh, your healthcare, my goodness.
So the only good thing and I only found this out very recently, and this gave me a little glimpse into why everyone's like, yeah, America, and F literally everyone else.
Can we guess?
Go for it.
The podcast. Just kidding.
This podcast?
Well, we appreciate that, Jez. Thank you, man.
Yeah. First of all, we're flattered.
Yeah, I want because I want to know what it is.
Okay.
So I'm trying to guess.
I don't know, dude. Freedom is great. Fireworks.
Because the rest of the world doesn't have fireworks. You know, like the
Yeah.
country that
just
invented them.
Okay.
This has
for
also
real,
piqued Dado's interest. He's like peeping out of his office door, like, what is it?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
like, oh.
My guess is honestly probably food, because we have literally every
Hit or miss.
person from around the world, so our food is pretty tight.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
all
but,
Americanified, though.
But like, I'm not. But like, no offense to Seattle or anything, but Seattle's not like Texas food, Blue. So it's like,
No, but I mean, but regardless, like in major cities, you still
I guess
have,
so. Yeah.
you still have
Is it-
people from around the world.
Is it a problem that I'm
food.
like, I can't think
I
of
can't
one that
even
I would
think
be
of one
like,
either.
this
Yeah.
is what he would.
I'm like
Um,
healthy. No,
tap water.
I would just say the people who live in America, like you just have a lot of friends or something. I would just say the connections or something.
Americans are deceptively talkative.
And the
Like,
That's true,
opportunity, I
actually.
guess.
Yeah. Americans are deceptively talkative. I will say that 100%.
like you would think, a recurring thing is like when you move here, you'd be like, "Oh, Americans are gonna be assholes and stupid," but like Americans are genuinely interested in people, which is, I think,
That's true.
weird for.
We just don't want people to know
I think
that about
weird
us.
for like people moving here, but it's something we're just used to, I guess.
I did find that the second an American sniffs that I'm a foreigner, which is as soon as I talk to them, they're like, "Oh my god, where are you from? Where is that accent? And also, let me talk to you for 5 minutes now about heritage."
Just like
Hey, we did the
It's
exact same
kinda cute.
thing.
It's like, God damn,
Yeah.
not again. But oh, well.
now I feel bad. I'm like, God, I'm the problem.
I don't know what it's like in Seattle, but if it was Colorado, I would say tap water.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Okay,
go with
but,
tap
like,
water
That's
because
just
I've
like,
gone to other places where it's just like can I even trust
Okay.
the tap? You know what I'm saying?
You're also biased because tap water in Colorado is not.
That's
tap
what I'm
water in
saying.
America.
it's just unmatched. You know.
Okay,
And you're
I
not
will
in
answer
Flint.
the tap water. Tap water in Australia, also very hit or miss. So we're also filtering all of our water here. So it's not that. Food, also, no offense, American food laws, way too relaxed. Go, a lot of chemicals. I was sick for the first 6 to 9 months
Makes him
that
so
we
good.
moved here. And I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
that's how
why
we
am I
get you.
sick?
Like that's how we get you. That's
It's true.
You've already
Literally,
been
we had to
brainwashed.
switch. We had to switch to organic everything for me to not feel sick moving here. And so maybe I'm just like weak internally. But then we were looking up like the chemicals that
Oh
are used
no,
here.
that's
and
definitely chemicals.
I've been eating this poison since '94, cuz. All right.
You're acclimatized.
It'll toughen you
so-
up. You'll go back
Yeah.
and be like, "What is this weak Bobby stuff?" You know what I'm saying? What is this
Probably.
prawn?
Yeah, I got super sick when I moved
Right.
back.
My MSG.
Yes, so I can say it wasn't the food. LOL, the food is also out of control.
Rob, did you make a guess? What'd you say?
Yeah, I said like
Friends or
connections
whatever?
and just connections
Right.
here, and I would say like Twitch opportunities in terms of like commercials or management and that kind of thing.
I
Right,
guess
that's a good
entertainment
one.
opportunities.
Opportunity,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
The
Opportunity's
American
close.
dream.
Yes, the old 2.5 kids, a 2 garage, and a white picket fence, and whatever the F.
And all you need is one father's
That's it.
40-hour income. Heck yeah, brother. Where did
Oh,
that
man.
go?
what I wouldn't give to have a dream from 40 years ago.
And a father, am I right?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, so it is the taxes. I'm not gonna lie. That's the main
Wait,
benefit.
Really?
I would think it was the opposite. I think you'd be like,
No.
"Get me the hell out of here! These taxes
I
suck."
can. Oh, absolutely. I
So-
definitely see it with taxes in America. We don't-
Well, I guess because like in terms of like the world taxes, ours aren't definitely
comparatively,
as compared. Like,
yeah.
Why is
Like,
what do
Aussie
we-
like
what do we
half your
do?
stuff? Like how does it
Let
work
me
over
give
there?
you an example of some numbers. Let's
gonna
say
get pissed,
hypothetically in
because I get
Australia,
pissed now.
we paid 40% of my income was taxed. And let's say the tax return that we just got in America, it was only 20%. And I was like, wait, what?
What, you're giving this back? Wow.
You only want 20% of my income all of a sudden, dude. So that was very surprising. And I think the reason is obviously Australia taxes higher because we have the healthcare for everyone. So
Yeah, you guys,
everyone's taken care
your
of.
taxes go into
Yeah.
your
I would
infrastructure.
kind of be
and other
willing to
people.
pay for
Yeah,
that.
In America, psych.
Yeah. And I can give you an example of why I didn't realize how effing good Australia's healthcare was until we moved here.
Yeah.
We
Just don't get sick.
Forehead.
So we went to the hospital one day because Amy was feeling sick. We don't have
No,
health
no, no,
insurance.
no.
Well, luckily
That's where-
she
And
had.
you guys were just like, oh, we'll just go to the hospital. She's feeling sick. Just go to the
Yeah.
hospital.
And as soon as you guys said,
Let's
hello,
call an ambulance.
they're like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
money.
Luckily,
start the
Amy
tab.
had health insurance through her dad because he works here. But literally, they just did a few tests like blood, urine, like just like the basic, and then just a little ultrasound because she was having some abdominal pain.
Oh,
We're
my
like, cool,
God.
thanks for that. The
No,
bill
that'll be your
comes,
kidney.
It was $7,000 to $10,000. That was what they were going to charge us, and I was like, you what? And then luckily, because she had health insurance, we only had to pay about $700. But
Oh
like,
my, yeah, that sounds about right.
okay, but conversely, my grandpa in Australia was just in hospital for 8 weeks and then had a foot surgery and paid nothing. So,
Dude,
All right. You know what? Maybe I'll risk the spiders, dude. Let's go.
yeah.
Take me back.
So,
Stuff me in your
that shocked
luggage.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
Sucks
Seattle
here.
have state or is it Washington, I guess? Does
Yeah, Washington.
Washington have state income? Or
State
no?
income.
Tax.
State income tax.
I
I
know.
don't
Yell
know.
Dado. Yeah, Dado will know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we pay state income tax?
I
My
don't
wife doesn't
think-
know either. All we know is we paid literally half of what we paid in Australia, and we were so surprised by that.
So wait, but which one would you rather take, that 20% pay cut, or knowing that if you ever have a health issue, you won't be indebted for the rest of your life?
Australia every
Yeah.
day of the week. Yeah, I don't give an F about saving money in the short term.
No. And that's
Same.
where it's just completely different here.
I actually saw this morning when I was
Mm.
waking up, I was browsing Reddit, as I sometimes do,
It's the
and
newspaper.
looking at all the
Gentlemen.
cheery news that was out, such as this person that was incredibly jaded with America, who was like, me and my wife have done everything we were supposed to do. We went to college. We like never bought expensive things. Like we saved. We put stuff in our retirement. We bought like sensible items throughout their life. Made the right decisions when getting a house. They had well-paying jobs for the most part. Everything was right. Like they did everything they should. They had a blanket of money saved away. And his wife got cancer. And in 6 months, they're in debt. They had to sell their house. All that savings gone. Their like lives are ruined. And he's like, I hate America.
Mm.
All because she got cancer. And then in order to try and pay for that, it's like, GG.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, America has made getting sick like a way to make money off of people. And the way America sees it is America's never going to run out of people getting sick and people getting hurt and stuff like that. And if it can't be monetized or something like that, you know, and then those people lobby for people to be, you know, in power and stuff like that. So it's just, it never changes.
I think
It's
a
so
vicious
deeply
cycle.
entrenched.
The saddest part is we've been conditioned to actually believe that like things actually cost that much.
Yeah, like that.
'Cause, like,
That's a
when you're like-
normal thing. Like when you
'cause
said all
people are
that.
like,
Oh, go ahead.
when people are like the recurring response is always like, okay, well, who's going to pay for that stuff, right? Like it's so expensive. And the answer is like, do you actually think like an ultrasound is $5,000? Like, do you think that's what it actually costs in
Yeah.
other countries to like do? So it's pretty rough over here.
Well, like when he was explaining and like that she got an ultrasound, I was like, oh, that's probably gonna run them like probably like $800, $700 with insurance.
Boom.
And then he was like, yeah, $700. I was like, yeah, no. But because that like my whole life, whenever you go to the hospital and stuff, that's why like if I ever got sick or I was like, I need to go to like the emergency room, which I never did because my parents were like, so help me God, if we go here and you are not dying or
We'll
in
kill you
serious
ourselves.
pain. Like,
yeah.
you are going to die. Like, if you are not going to the hospital, the emergency room, if anything. And then my dad never goes to the doctor either, but that's for different reasons. He's just like scared of the doctor. But I was always raised that like, you are not going to the doctor unless you're croaking on your
100%.
deathbed.
Yep.
I saw an example just the other day and I can't remember the exact figures for like diabetes medicine, insulin, like on the American
100%,
border.
yeah.
It was like several $100s, and then literally 5 minutes away in Canada, it was like $30 or something. Like just outrageous difference in price.
Yeah, one of the perfect examples of like, well, who's gonna pay for all the insulin? It's like, bro, the insulin is not $100 a vial, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
cost.
You could think it is, and you could be like, well, who's gonna pay for it? But it's like, bro, it's $30 in Canada, bro. Like,
That's
come
that
on.
fatty American markup, baby. Let's
Yeah.
That's
get
what it's
that
about. It's all
profit
about that markup.
margins. That's right.
Ugh,
Yeah.
sucks.
It's kind of like soda
It's,
at restaurants. But yeah, it's $3 for a large. You know how much that costs them? Like a penny.
100%.
That's it. That's like
Like
movie
that- the
theaters,
syrup?
restaurants.
Yeah.
Their biggest profit margin on any item is always soda. Because it's actually just like dirt cheap to make.
Mm.
But then
It's
they
actually
just
depressing to consider that American healthcare is comparable to markup in movies, like in
you wanna-
actual movie theaters.
you
Like, it's
wanna-
actually comparable.
Right.
Remember that story about my acid trip, guys, where I ended up in the hospital? Long story
could we
short,
forget?
Jez, I was a 9/11 veteran for a short bit. I took acid, got tased twice. Long story. Anyways,
All right.
I had to like pay for like the hospital bill and the ambulance. Bro, my ambulance ride, all
couple
right?
grand,
Okay.
isn't it?
Dude, from where we lived, you know, like our neighborhood, Christian, to where
Yeah, your address and your
but like to get it to the one that was by the freeway, you know, like that kind of distance, it's not too far, bro.
What are we talking? 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Maybe 10.
10 to 15.
But with ambulance lights,
An ambulance,
5 minutes, 4
5 to 10.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
$380, bro. That's with insurance. Was
I was gonna say.
$380.
Ooh.
And that
Mm.
was like while I was in there going like 9/11, like, and going just bucking there.
But so imagine
damn.
getting the ambulance when you don't have health insurance. And it's
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
a couple grand.
And for someone
Yeah.
who like truly needs it, not some kid freaking out on acid saying they were part of 9/11 or something.
Yeah. Like, dude, if that hospital had charged us $10,000 for me just to make sure my wife is okay, like that would have taken us months to like work out. the
And imagine if
finance.
she wasn't okay, and then
Yeah.
you're in the hospital for months.
And she had nothing wrong. Yeah. So it's just, yeah, crazy. Crazy.
And that's why when like you have like things like when we do money for like St. Jude and that kind of stuff, that charity stream, and that it's like so important that like those families don't see a dime, like
Mm.
in any sort of sense.
Well, see, to Americans, that's like, wow, that's a thing. And then like, Jed's
Yeah.
like, what? That's Australia.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's-
that's like
Yeah. I can see how it may be hard to wrap your head around why would I pay 40% of my income when I can just pay 20%? But like that's such a me over us mentality. And like if everyone just thought about us more, then everyone would benefit so much more, dude. It's
well,
crazy.
Jez, let me go ahead and show you the history of humanity.
Right.
and especially America's.
But I'd say more so America because we worked it out.
Well, yeah.
Us is good.
But I mean, most humans as a whole, anyway, they're just not going to.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, too, like every country has their problems. And you go to some countries or even some first world countries, and comparatively, there's some stuff, especially like socially and stuff, where it's like, this is how this works here. Every country has their own thing. Really wish we had better health insurance because it affects, well, literally everyone.
Yeah.
But so,
Even if it doesn't
yeah,
affect
it's
you
tough.
now, it's going to affect you at some point. You're not just going to be healthy your entire life.
True.
Yeah,
So
try.
let's play devil's advocate here for you.
Okay.
You throw at us things you've heard before coming, or even still you don't know about here. What did you hear? What was the image of America? Like, what were the hallmarks, or what did you think it was? Like, right now on Reddit, if I were to go, everyone thinks that every school gets shot up, for instance. Everyone's like, how do you live day to day? Well, it's not like
Yeah,
we
the
go out
Wild
and there's
Wild West.
shootings everywhere. Yeah, it's not the Wild Wild West. Like, I know that's like a common misconception here.
Or like we all talk like this, and we all drink Diet Mountain Dew and watch NASCAR, like that kind of.
And our
Dude,
big goal.
I met a guy at GuardianCon last year that actually talks like that, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a real accent! You really do something. You
You're
really do speak
actually
like that."
American.
It was wild. I thought he was having me on for a second, but it was real. It was so thick.
Because like we have accents to you technically, right? Like the way I talk is like an accent, I would say, I guess.
Yeah, I hear it with Dado and Danielle all the time. You guys hit the R like pretty hard, whereas we kind of glide over it. So I would say water, but you guys are like water. Like you really land on it.
Wait, say that again.
Water.
Water.
Okay, wait. How would you say large hills that are bigger than hills that have snow on them? What would you call those? It starts with an M. I'm not trying, but I just can't say the word otherwise.
They have snow on them. There's a lot in
Wait, say it again.
Colorado.
A mountain?
Okay, so you don't. A lot of people don't say the T. I guess that's just universal.
We don't really say the T. Mountain. Mountain. Yeah, we don't say the T. Mountain. Yeah.
Mountain, yeah.
I feel like it doesn't really matter about location.
Say it, Mr. Fruit. Say it.
I say mountain, but I know some people say mountain. I mean, that's technically what
petrol,
it is,
right? Or is that a British thing?
Pencil? Yeah, pencil.
No, petrol, like gasoline.
Petrol, yeah. We don't say gas, we say petrol. We don't say gas station, we say petrol station or service station.
Oh wait, do you guys have those like where they serve you the petrol? You have that in Aussie?
No, it's still serve yourself, but like you have to go in. There's a guy like inside you have to pay to. Like you can't just pay yourself at the thing. Yeah, which is like really weird, and I hate that. So I love that about America.
So I hate that. Hey, but add that to your list. One of the pros. There you go.
Yeah,
don't have to ask
we got two.
I mean, sometimes you have to go in if you want to pay.
The cost of that is that there's a lot of card fraud here, and we've had our card details stolen literally 3 times in the last 2 years, and it's never happened to me once my whole life in Australia.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Before I swipe at any gas station, I'm really weird about it because I see it on Reddit all the time.
Me too.
They put like weird like thing.
It's usually like ATMs.
I will like grab.
You're sitting there like,
I will try and like grab to see if there's anything funky before I do anything. I swear to you, before I swipe.
Yeah, me too. I shake it and then I saw it on Reddit.
If I use a keypad too, I've heard people will somehow get your number off the machine and then look. And heat map what your fingers were pointing. So after I'm done, after using that, I'll like just kind of swipe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
I kind of just go.
No meme.
You ain't changing shit.
No meme. I've just been conditioned to do that since I was a kid. Like after you type it in, you're supposed to put your hand on the buttons. So if people try to get like a heat map of the number, obviously your security code, that they can't because your hand was on it.
Yeah, I learned that like 2 years ago about that method, and I was like, oh my god, they have everything. Like,
how would you guys
sound awful?
Everything.
Like we just sound awful. Why are we can't what's good about America? And it's just like, wow, this place is the worst.
There should be a number one or a pro here. We might not have healthcare, but my God, do we have an army? You know, that's where we put all of our money for some reason. So
there is that.
If it does happen, we're strapped, bro.
We would annihilate. That would be tight because we would just.
I don't know what
the point is.
But as jets fly over us and fireworks, like why we're saying this. Okay, so how do we say what, Jez?
Shark. I feel like you would say shark.
Oh yeah, shark. We really hold on.
Not shark. Just shark.
Yeah.
Shark.
Whereas shark.
No, you say shark.
All up. Yeah, shark. Just up the whole way.
Shark.
And then you go like very nice to like, hey, y'all see that shark over there?
How has it been the transition? Is Australia on the right side while driving, or is it on the left?
It's the opposite. Yeah, that's been very.
How is that? What is that like?
Dude, the roads are a whole effing thing, but yes, also that.
You guys are the weird ones, right? You realize that you in England are the only ones that do that. That's where we're normal. Like you guys are the weird ones.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, England and Australia are the only ones I think that do the opposite road thing.
Listen. Go ahead, Blue.
No, you're good. It's just so funny. It's like you in England is Australian.
You people.
So here's what I will say. I can deal with the effing other side of the road, no problem. What I can't deal with is what's the deal with the cars are too big here. You guys don't need the Ford F-250, F-400, F-4 million.
I'm with you.
It's too big.
I'm with you.
Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
And what's weird too is you're in Seattle. You're not in Texas where you would see those like big trucks. Like why you have one of those in Seattle? Like that just doesn't. That makes no sense.
I'm yet to see a single person with that tray filled with anything, let alone filled all the way. It makes the size down.
It makes sense for farmers, people on farms and stuff. Like that's what they were kind of made for, like the West.
Yeah,
and moving a whole bunch of stuff, and then that's nobody.
Listen, dude. Look, our automobile design is not exactly sleek or modern in any way, shape, or form.
It's very loud.
God damn it!
Like America.
Can we make a huge boxy truck that can carry anything in a heartbeat?
But goddamn, is it big dick energy?
Space shuttle 5
It's like, hey,
in this Super Bowl commercial.
The new Ford F-150 could tow the Titanic. It's like, I need that. I'm going to do that.
Dude. How do you feel about, because I'm sure you've seen the absolute just huge plethora of truck commercials, right? Like you've seen them, right?
I don't watch TV,
you don't really watch
ever.
TV. Oh man, you need to start.
Bless you.
What are you watching on TV, Blue?
Dude. Not even just general ads on YouTube too. Like we have.
Well, they're catered. They're not. They're like, wait a minute, these aren't going to work for him.
I hate
the one. Buying Blue.
We're in Texas, bro. They're gonna always cater to me here, right?
Yeah, they're like, we got you.
The ones where they're like, hey guys, like we want to show you something, and they're like, whoa, is this like a Lamborghini? Like, whoa, this is like so nice. Is that a Bentley's like interior? And they're like, no, it's a Chevy. And they're like, whoa,
wait, that's a what?
Whoa, I'm getting scared.
Oh no.
And it's like real people.
My favorite is like,
and they're absolutely actors.
My favorite is like, guess which car company was voted #1 in car safety in 2017?
Oh, yeah. And like,
what about which one was rated #1 in like torque suspension in 2018? They're like, I don't know, Chevy. Whoa, I would have known.
Yeah. Just Monica is a nurse and she is not a paid actor. So Monica, how do you feel about the Ford F-150? I mean, the Ford F-150. This is the new Ford F-150. Whoa, that's the new Ford F-150. Whoa, dude, that's crazy. Buy the truck.
I had a rant. I hate those commercials where it's like it's a Chevy and they're like, oh my
clearly
God.
they were.
Well, those are the commercials I'm talking about.
Chevy.
Jez is like super lost right now.
Trust me.
But our
Every
commercials
American
would
knows.
be memes in other countries.
The second thing I hate about the roads in America is...
Oh, here we go.
If I think about the top 10 craziest, most reckless drivers that I've ever seen on the road in my entire life, literally all 10 in the past 2 years in America. Every time I go out, there's a guy who's weaving in and out of traffic with the mindset, I may die today, and that's pretty cool IMO. What's the deal with that?
How many dudes have you seen like in bikes or motorcycles, like legit, like driving through cars on like a highway or road or something?
Yeah. Dude, cars drive through cars. People don't give an F.
I'll say this about American drivers. A lot suck. Like a lot. I would say more people suck at driving here than are good. But like what I like about drivers, especially in California, Colorado, they're pretty shitty here. But the thing I hate about Colorado is like on the freeway here, if it's a 2-lane freeway, I hate when people just coast in the left lane. Like if you're in the left lane, you're just supposed to be passing the person in the right lane and then like getting over.
Okay,
like
Rob's
that's
like getting like into meta shit, and Jez over here like, please don't kill me on the road.
That's what like the road is for. So
please.
like
I don't have insurance.
But that's why Jez gets mad is because I bet someone was chilling in the left lane. So now there's just a little bit in the right lane. So now that person thinks like, oh no, I gotta get on, and then they're all over the place in a car accident.
Rob, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the driver Jez is talking about.
Okay, no, I'm not. But like if I'm in California and everybody's doing it on the left 2 sides of the freeway, just stick to the right side. That's all I'll say. Just kind of stick over there. But like
I respect that. I respect
the left side's just for the big boys, you know? Like that's where we ride and we go fast.
We ride, brother.
That's where it's like they can't pull us all. They can't pull us all over if we're all going 25 over. Like dude, that's just like that side of the
fast lane in America is for people with the mindset. I don't even know what the speed limit is right now, so we're big chilling.
I will only drive like on the left lane, like at a decent speed limit. I don't like weave. That shit's stupid, but I'll drive at a good pace. But only if I'm in the car. Only if it's like, because if I like go on the, if I even like put on my blinker to go in the right lane, I got Sydney on my right. Trust me, she go like always like, or like someone like a car like will brake in front of me. And she go like I'm like I know there's a brake in my car. It's just really funny.
Is this like an actual? Is this just an unwritten rule for the left lane to be the fast lane, or is that just something
It's
that
actually the law.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
the
At
law
least
then.
in
Technically
Colorado,
a
it's the
law.
law.
Yeah, it's get over. Like
Left lane is for
if you're
passing.
not, yeah, if you're not passing.
I mean,
a car,
yeah, I know it's the passing lane, but I it's just the
I
way
mean, if
people treat it is like a cult.
Well, no, but like I mean,
drives me nuts.
technically, like yeah, if you're coasting on the left with the same speed limit on like the right, you're technically impeding traffic. You're not probably going to get pulled over for it, but
Yeah.
in theory, I mean, technically, in its most literal sense, according to the law, I'm pretty sure it's like you get in the left lane to pass, and then you get into the right, which obviously isn't always the case.
And you
But
can't
I think
always
that's
do
why
that.
it's like right is for slower or coasting or bigger cars or like trucks and stuff, and the left lane is for. And that's if it's 2 lanes, 3 lanes, 4 lanes. It's left lane is always
just do whatever, bro.
The final thing I will say about the roads before we move on is that, as good and bad, is that speeding in this country, I don't know what the cops do care about, but it's not the speed limit. Because in
absolutely not.
Australia, oh my God, if you're doing like any amount over, there's cameras everywhere. There's cops, cops hiding in bushes with radar guns everywhere, just waiting to catch you, dude. They live for it. In America, no one gives an F.
Yeah, because they got bigger stuff to worry about, like people shooting each other and shit, unfortunately.
Right.
But I mean, like it's because of like what I said earlier, Jez. Like when we're on the freeway and everybody's going 20 over, it's like they can't pull us all over, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're all going, and then like at that point, it's like I have to go the speed. Like if I'm getting pulled over, and I have in the past for speeding, the first thing I say is if I'm not going the speed of traffic, like I'm impeding traffic, like I'm slowing everybody down. Like unfortunately, officer, I may have been speeding, but like I have to go that way. I have to be going that fast.
We really
what,
push
son?
how far
You're
you
right.
can. Yeah, but the
let
thing
me
is,
tell you real quick, it didn't work. Like, but
He like I respect it, son.
well, like he was just telling me, he was just like, well, I caught you going 8 over, and it was such the way he did it too. He was just coasting in the right lane. And he was going like 65, and the speed limit, it was 75. He was going like 68, and nobody had the fucking balls to pass this guy. Like everybody was like cop in the right lane. Like
It's true.
I'm not kidding you. It was a cop in the right lane, left lane wide open, spaces, just space, and everybody.
It's like, I ain't doing it. You do it.
And I literally was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go past him going the speed limit. So I'm going like 73, 72. As I'm not going past the dude like, like I'm literally like slowly, like I'm going with him. Like it's, and then like I get over lights. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so mad. And then I got a ticket. And then it's like, it was like 4 points if you don't pay it at a certain point or something. And I don't know if that's how Australia works. Like if you get like a traffic ticket, you have a certain amount of points, and like
we have 12 points. If you lose the points, you lose your license for at least a year, I want to say.
You're wrecked.
I don't know how
But
many
they're pretty
points we
strict.
have.
you get annihilated.
Yeah.
You get destroyed.
You get rectally annihilated. It's
Did
just
you ever
really
drive?
destroyed.
Did you ever drive stick shift, Jez, or no?
Yeah, stick is like pretty common in Australia. I've always had stick.
So have you seen a stick car here?
Rats.
What is the gearbox on? Like, is it different? Is it like flipped compared to here? Because our stick shift, like, is first gear still like, I guess, left and up, like
Left and up. Yeah, that's right.
okay,
Yeah.
so it would still be the same. It would just you just have to kind of reach for first gear rather than having to reach for like fifth gear or fourth gear.
Yeah, just on the different side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it is the same. I just didn't know if like the gearboxes were like also kind of flipped.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
no.
something you'll see in America. There's not a lot of stick shift cars. I don't know how that, if there are many left anywhere really, but I feel like manual transmission cars are kind of on the way out. Sadly, I like driving stick.
Me too. I love it.
Can
Fun
you
fact.
drive stick, Christian?
Well, I learned for one road trip because that was all we had, and then I never used it since. They're on the way out, and somebody's like, "But you feel the car? Whatever, dude. I got my automatic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Blue
There's
drives
really
stick,
no
right, Blue?
need.
I've driven stick before, but it's been so long that I would probably ruin your car if I drove stick.
The transmission. I remember like when I first started learning, I was learning on my dad's BMW, brand new. And it was literally like one of those ones that's like literally like one of those clutches that like as soon as you kind of let off, you have to like be right there on the gas too.
Yeah.
Sucks. I also hate with manual transmission when you're on a hill. And it's like, if you don't get that clutch down and like gas up, dude, you're rolling back into the dude behind you. That was like my biggest fear ever was like being on a hill on manual transmission with cars behind me. It is so scary.
I will say there's a lot more going on in the roads in America. So I can see why auto is more common. And I'm glad we switched to an auto for this country. Because you got effing the guy next to you on his phone, hasn't looked up at the road in 35 seconds. Everyone's flying around at the speed of sound. It's just, yeah, so I'm really glad.
Gotta go fast. Pardon your regularly programmed podcast listening for this short ad break.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
This program was made possible by contributions to your GG Over Easy podcast from viewers like you. And these producers: Annabelle the Dark, Grayscale, Grizz, Blackbird Logan, Blue Shotgun, CC Coon 91, Crescenzio, The Wersh 51, Green Pete, Grizzly Stag, Hedron Crab, Jacuvius Jr., Jake 11 Raptor, Mr. Aries, Mr. Goodbites, Omega Arts 290, Rex Mechanica, Rodeo, Saith, Vaxi, Whoa, and Zigzag Gubu. Thank you.
I think the most important difference between USA and Australia is if you take USA's initials and Australia's initials, and you just take USA and you move one letter off and replace it in the front, USA goes to Australia.
As you
is
can
that
see,
a conspiracy?
Americans aren't dumb at all.
Yeah.
We just proved.
Is that a conspiracy or is it a part of something bigger? I'm just going to leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let you sit on that, let it ruminate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's what I brought to the table.
I have an Australia-USA question for you, Jez.
Okay.
Do you prefer Australian football or American football? Or do you like even care?
So Australia, we have AFL, rugby union, and also rugby league. So we have like three.
And then there's all. Oh, you guys call it soccer too, then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we have like a lot more codes than you. I feel like you guys just have NFL, right?
Yeah, that's all you need. I mean, we had like the XFL and like indoor football.
Hey, Dwayne
league.
bought it, baby.
Oh yeah, I saw that Dwayne the Rock did buy the XFL. The XFL, right. Jez, is like the WWE and like an NFL football league combined. It's weird.
Okay, wait. So clear this up for me. You kept saying I thought all the leagues you were talking about was rugby or soccer.
No,
you could refer to them all as rugby, but they're like more specifically, they are slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
rugby,
do you actually have like
different.
Football, like American football?
We actually don't have NFL at all. We
have
AFL's
three different.
Others. Yeah, NFL's
it's like
different.
A different rule set.
Yeah.
Pretty drastically different too. It looks a lot more like rugby than it does actual like our football. But I mean,
rugby, yeah.
Here's what I know about rugby is it's just like a free for all. Everyone gets hurt, concussions. You just whack dudes.
Everybody
It's like a fist fight as far as I'm aware. And sometimes you kick a ball or like bounce it on the ground or something. Yeah, that's kind of what I know.
We don't wear any protective gear because lol, why would we?
That's beyond me. Yeah, that's Those are some big dudes, man. Like that's a train coming at you, man. Miss me with that.
Yeah. It's fun though. Yeah, I used to play in school. It's a lot of fun. But yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other words we say that are totally different from like the Australian definition, like petrol and gas.
Why don't we just, because we managed to talk about pretty much an hour of this, is start with Jez's war.
Oh, we should probably be there,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Jez,
so where are you from?
We didn't even properly introduce you. This guy, believe it or not, is not just an Australian. which we may have led you to believe. He's not just some random guy that lived in Australia and we're like, hey, come on. You know about Australia. He is actually he's an okay content creator, if I gotta be honest.
Okay.
I don't want to
doesn't say that about everybody.
Yeah. Okay for me is like, you know what I'm saying? No,
yeah, like that's great.
It's up there on the Mr.
I'm not even okay.
He is a fantastic content creator. And so we're curious, how did you get to where you are now? It can start from when baby Jez entered the world, or more simply, when all the content creation kind of started. Yeah, maybe gaming, and then how that led to where you are now.
Okay.
This is your time. You here is. You have the mic.
Right. Audio listeners, Fruit has given me his microphone now through the screen.
See, look at this guy.
Yeah.
You're already used to that.
Listen, I came out of the womb straight into a pretty beefy rig, 4 monitors, multiple keyboards, and mice, etc. So
yes, that before we get into this, that reminds me, what is your setup? Because I'm worried for your health, mainly your optical health. Because
it's a lot going on.
If people watch the podcast we did with Danielle, I mean specifically watch, because if you're an audio listener, obviously you couldn't see. But in the background, we got to see your get up.
My setup, yep.
I saw him tweet a picture of it, and it was insane.
The best way I could describe it.
How you do that.
The best way I could describe it is your front row in an IMAX theater. It makes no sense to me. Like right now,
more
even
than one IMAX screen.
Even right now, you're talking to us. Yeah.
I was thinking that too when he's talking to us. He's like,
but you got like 4, and it's not like each one's how big is each monitor? Because it looks at least 40 inches or something.
4 monitors, all at least 27 inch, all 144 hertz, all curved, 1080p to 1440p, all good.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I have 2 22 inches.
Yeah, here's my question. It's like I have just different monitors. I have like one great one for gaming. Like the one is just used for gaming. And then the other 2 are just 60 hertz pieces of dump. Because like all they're gonna be used for is like YouTube and like what do you use those monitors for?
Are you playing like the stock market? Do you got like programs going? You hacking? Are you like, do you have like the driving setup where you need the big immersion? Like what's going on?
Right. I have 2 portrait tall boys running either side of my main monitor, and then 1 additional landscape.
One like this
up top. Yeah.
Okay. So 2 like this on the bottom.
2, on the bottom on either side, so with 3 eye level and then 1 kind of up top. You guys are up top, so that's why I'm like, sick.
Hi, Jez.
What up?
How's the weather down there?
It's existence is pain.
Do you find yourself using the bottom monitors or the top ones more?
I game on this monitor in front of me, and then I'll have, let's say I'm streaming, we've got Twitch chat and Streamlabs alerts all on the right. And then I've got, let's say, Discord and like just Spotify on the left. And then up top is the big OBS preview, so I can see what my stream looks like. So I really do use all the real estate.
See, I just like minimize it so that all just fits on like one thing. Granted, it's like little boxes, and I'm like, how's the stream looking? Like,
yeah. So back to Fruit's
don't get me
question.
wrong. I like your setup. It's just for me, that's so much stimulation for me. I don't know. Like if I'm gaming, I feel like I'd always just be looking.
Here's the problem. I don't have a problem with your setup. It's how close you are to these 27 plus inch monitors.
He's just worried. He's worried about
it's like not even arms. It's just ergonomically, and I'm thinking about your health. Because listen, you're in America now. Those eyes get shot, bro. You know, like what we were talking about. You're done for. You know what I'm saying?
Optometry, not a normal insurance plan.
Oh wait, Rob, do it like that one CS:GO player.
Oh, like Skadoodle?
Yeah. Like literally, he'll literally have his keyboard. Yeah, like right below that, and he's literally plays like.
Yeah, he's literally like just right here with it.
Yeah, Fruit. I will say,
this is like you talking to us.
I admittedly have burned my retinas to a crisp of their former selves. As a result, I'm pretty sure of the 4 monitors.
Here's my thing. What's it like moving that thing, man? Like I have to move like a monitor upstairs for my cooking stream, and I'm like, this sucks. And then I gotta put it all back together. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah. It was a whole thing. It was 48 hours of setting up when I packed down my old place and moved it here. It was a whole thing.
Do you have like the boxes?
Colorblind. The what?
Like all the boxes for each monitor, or like do you kind of just?
Oh no, we just foam wrapped them up, dude, and just basically tossed them all the way to Dado's house.
Go on.
No meme. My eyes, I'm pretty sure I'm losing my eyesight. Things are blurrier than ever. If I move back too far, I start to lose it. I used to have great vision. I'm more colorblind than ever. I can't even see the red radar in Destiny without making it green these days. So I'm definitely on that spectrum now. So it's definitely all going.
So you see it. It's not worrying. You're not like, hey, maybe something should change. Literally just
in the water
or something.
Just move the desk back.
Well,
and then maybe get another little thing to put your...
Here,
You telling this dude how to make his content, bro?
My monitor is further away than my arms. It's like further away than that. So I'm not that close to it, I don't think.
Like
but it's also in relation to how big it is, though. Because like you could be, like a hand's distance away from like a 10-inch, and you're like straight. But if you're 10 inches away, from like a 70-inch, it's gonna be like Jesus. Right. It's all about proportions. I'm just saying.
He's just
I'm worried. As somebody who's worried his whole life, I'm going to go blind. I don't want you to. So I'm just, maybe go see an optometrist.
This is the only reason we brought you on the podcast.
Just see an optometrist. They'll give you a little update, and then maybe look up some guidelines or ergonomic stuff about like, if your thing is this X big, this is how far away you should be. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking out for you.
I just imagine Christian when he first saw Jez's setup, just like his eye, just like.
Dude, literally, as soon as we started doing the podcast, one of his first questions was, "Is that Jez's?"
Well, because I think he like sat down. I was like, "What is that?" And then he sat down, and then you're like, and I'm like, "Oh my."
Yeah, the look up. Yeah.
That's what gets me the most. Is like, That's funny.
100%. Admittedly.
I'm not making fun of you. I really am. It's literally just coming from a good spot of like, just want to make sure you do this a lot. So just make sure, in the long run.
Now, Fruit, tell me what you think about this, because I think I earned some points in other areas. My posture, pretty upright, wouldn't you say? Like this I'm literally like this all the time.
Oh,
like,
see?
Very upright.
That's perfect. Your knees are at a 90 degree. Your elbows are at a 90 degree. Your back is straight. That's perfect. Yep, because when you bend your arms and you put them on your desk, they shouldn't be elevated. And it looks like that's not like they're flat.
They're perfectly flat. Yeah.
Now, Fruit, I will defend Jez here. Part of the reason his posture is probably so good is because he is looking up. So it forces his posture to be good, because when he looks up at us, he has to properly align his neck with his spine.
To be fair, though, he said he doesn't use it that much, though. That's not his main.
I'm glancing mostly, at the top monitor.
But still,
that's his Smurf.
Still, you have to admit that is a potential positive
of
having
I'm not
monitors.
At this point, extra. I feel like I have to get 4 monitors now. I feel like you're posturing. You're like a gorilla. Look at my 4 monitors. I'm like, okay, fine. I get 5, huh? How about that?
Wait, is that with 2 PCs, Jez, or just 1 PC?
It is 2 PCs. Do not do this with 1 PC.
I was gonna
0
say,
out of 10.
Yeah, I was
that
like,
that little PC is like
1 PC. I was like, what do you have in that thing? And I was like, and how does it power up all of Seattle? Like,
yeah. I like to think when I turned on like just everything in this setup when I first moved to Dado's house, there's some guy in front of a map at NASA and like a little LED just flicked on.
So like an astronaut in space, like sees a little flicker, like, you see that?
Turned on his monitors again. That one dude in Seattle.
I like the thing. It's like the Death Star where they're like, boom, like turning all the knobs. It's like 20 different.
I just imagine little rats in your computers, just like shoving coal, like in the power supply.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're doing good. So anyway, now that that just reminded me when you went straight to the monitors, and I was like, that reminds me. So again, apologies. An hour and 10 minutes into the podcast. Please share your lore and let it be known that the only reason you haven't is completely my fault. I've held you hostage. Right. So apologies.
It's a very simple story. And it begins, I would say, as every good tale does, I was playing too many video games.
What video games exactly?
It was actually just one. It was the OG Team Fortress 2, baby.
What?
Oh,
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
I was gonna
Yep.
say you're in friendly waters here.
He's a fellow 2 Fort main.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so
Yeah,
how long like was that like release? Like when did you play this?
Listen, from the age of I want to say 18 to 21, I basically clocked up 3 to 4,000 hours of TF2,
Oh my god.
and it was a
PC?
real thing.
Were you
Yeah.
were you like into the hat
PC.
market and everything?
Oh, I was into the unusuals. Your boy was buying stocks. We were
Dude,
buying
what?
specs.
Why have we never bonded over this?
yeah.
That's
It
why he
was
has the
a- it
4
was a problem.
monitors. He's watching.
Is that like the
stocks,
CS:GO version of a case or something like
Yes.
that?
This was like
Yeah.
cases before cases were a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is when Valve was like, wait a second.
Crates or
What if
bombing?
we got a piece of this? You know what I'm saying? What if we controlled this?
Instead of gun skins, it's hats, baby, and it was
the
wild back
hat
in the day.
market is hot.
What was the most expensive hat? Is that kind of like Dragon
Oh man.
CS:GO?
That ever sold? Got to be at least 10 grand, which I know is not as much as CS:GO.
100%.
But yeah.
But
There
10
was
grand
a-
is still insane. And like,
And it was I'm pretty sure it was the Burning Flames team captain.
Yes,
Which
correct.
was like
That's the one. Yeah.
That was a legend in the Team Fortress community. Like
Hold on, hold
if
on.
you
Let me
saw
look
someone
it
with
up. What's
Team
it
Fortress,
called?
you were like, whoa.
Blazing
It's,
what?
it's
Bad,
basically
dude.
Mr. Bison's from whatever that game is.
Yeah, M. Bison's.
Cap. Yeah, Bison's cap.
Wait, Blazing Bison's cap?
Burning Flames
Burning
team
Flames.
captain.
Burning
Yep.
flames.
really?
Basically, different hats had like different style of particle effects. You could have bubbles. You could have red flames. You could have green flames. You could have sunbeams,
they were-
etc.
Yeah.
It's
But they were
essentially
very,
flaming
very
recon
rare.
ROM.
And it's also kind of like CS:GO. When you see that skin, you're like, oh shit! Like
yeah.
I'm playing with an oil prince. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
one round he had this hat on, and like now
Yeah,
on this side he has another hat. I'm sure
It's real schlong hours if you see a big
Huge
unusual.
Schlong hours.
What was it?
Yeah.
What was your most expensive hat you had?
I was younger back in the day, so only ever spent a few $100s on a hat. But for me, I was like, oh my god, I'm in debt for life. I'll never pay this off.
Like sweating, like you're clicking the purchase button. Like,
Do you know what hat it was?
I can't remember off the top of my head the exact hat and effect.
Hat, pun.
Oh
But yeah.
man. This is
So
like the
see-
best day of my life. We're talking about Team Fortress 2 unusuals on the podcast.
your future self is like, I told you, dude, it wasn't worth
My,
it. You won't remember it.
Yeah. Hey, I
My
sold it. And I
CS:GO
got out of the game, boys.
Oh, you're
Dude,
out.
like-
Get back in.
No, do not do
I'm-
that.
I'm in the CS:GO skin game.
I'll tell you.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
no.
TF2
I-
stonks ain't exactly on the
The
rise.
CS:GO
Yeah.
TF2 actually is pretty consistent though.
I mean, it's
I-
consistent,
yeah.
but like CSGO
like,
is
as
like
far as the-
this.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I'll tell you this. My Vice gloves that I traded like my knife, one of my knives and a previous pair of gloves for, I traded them for a pair of gloves called Vices that were field tested, cost me $1,000. But I think it was like $20 and just $20 cash, and then the rest were like liquidated in skins.
Right.
Yeah.
That I think now they're worth about $1,600. And then my Talon knife is like $980 right now.
Damn.
And I got that for like 800.
Yeah.
So the thing that made Team Fortress 2 so cutthroat is that it wasn't just money for these unusuals. There was like an entire in-game economy with like buds, which were like super rare, like
Keys,
I
right?
have
There's
those
keys
actually.
too, right?
and then keys. Obviously, keys were like money. So like keys was kind of like the conversion rate for people to figure out exactly how much stuff cost.
Yep.
But it was earbuds, the Apple earbuds for if you logged in and played with like on a MacBook. So earbuds were like a really big currency.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Team Fortress 2 Unusual trading is like so cutthroat. Like you would literally 50% of people on like trade sites would be scammers.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, and so many people got scammed. Oh my god, dude.
Blue,
Strange
did you-
golden frying pan collectors exclusive. I'm just reading all.
Yeah,
like,
it's
the
a whole
crazy
thing.
ones.
Blue, did you ever buy some buds?
Oh, absolutely. I was really hardcore into the unusual market trading. Like I actually like played the entire market.
Okay. What do you remember when you first bought a pair of buds? What was like the stock price? What did you pay in real world dollars?
I think this was like at the peak too of like when trading, like back in like 2012 of like peak Team Fortress 2 market trading.
Okay.
Where it was right after the Man vs. Machine update.
Okay.
And I think
Wow.
buds, I want to say buds were like $30 a pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Is this
what I paid as well.
earbuds? Is this earbud thing I'm seeing?
Yeah,
It's literally
yeah.
earbuds.
Yeah, that was currency. That was straight up currency.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
they only released a certain amount of them, so immediately that became
That
like
was
the
the
stock
set.
market price that you could set.
Yeah, exactly.
They had that with CS:GO keys, and CS:GO keys were that until they made CS:GO keys untradeable, so you can't trade CS:GO keys anymore.
Right.
That's why TF2 keys have actually become the currency now in CS:GO trading. Are
Oh,
TF2
interesting.
Oh,
keys.
really?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like
What does
on,
a key
on
go
my
for?
CS. I think like $2.49 or something, like $2, something like that.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
That's the literal conversion rate because it's
Yeah.
it's
And
$2.49.
you can trade them, like they're not trade locked. Like it used to be Dota artifacts or something, like Arcanas, and then like that got trade locked, and then it was CS:GO keys that got trade locked, and now it's TF2 keys, and then that'll get trade locked at some point, I'm sure.
Damn.
So, Jez, what was your favorite unusual that you had? Like, what was the thing that like what was the thing like you saved up for and you were like, oh, I gotta get this? Like, what made you fancy?
Yeah, dude, I loved the sunbeams. Just for some reason, that really spoke to me. I know some people like the red flames, some people like the green flames, but the sunbeams, baby, I always wanted something like that. But God, they were just so expensive for my 18-year-old self.
Yeah, sunbeams were one of the more expensive ones.
Yeah. So I think the best I had was like just a steam effect, which was just like a white kind of steam constantly coming out of the hat. So, 18-year-old me loved that.
Unusual is unusual. It's tight. Like I can show people my steaming hat. It's so lame, but it's like, dude, this is my steaming hat.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you type it in the Steam Marketplace? I'm trying to see if I can like unusual flash of inspiration. That's 1800. Like,
damn. Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea that TF2 had to market like this.
TF2 was like TF2 was the precursor to your CS:GO market. Like this, it was like the blueprint. TF2 market was ridiculous. People played that super hard. Huh? Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome for your gambling addiction.
So I legit was like, I legit like I would take buds. I would take people's buds, and then I would be like, okay, well, here's the like, oh, do you not have enough keys? Well, here, I'll give you a bud, and you can give me back these keys. And oh my god, it was the worst. I had to get out because it was getting unhealthy. I think I legit put in like $1,000 into the TF2 unusual market.
Wow.
Is there a way to cash out like on your hats and stuff, or nah? Or like
you had to cashing out was the hardest part of TF2 because it would you had to do PayPal.
Yeah,
like you had to come across someone who was willing.
Yeah,
you could easily get scammed too, so it was hard.
Yeah. Wow. Not that I want to continue to isolate, probably 95% of the audience. Let's be realistic. Sorry about that tangent, guys.
No, that was partly my fault too.
I've never played TF2. That was, I guess, that's just one ship that I never got on.
I did, but not much.
Dude, literally 3,000 hours later, I'm like 20 years old, and I'm like, I need to do something with all these hours. So I Google searched how to make videos, and literally my channel was born from that day, and now here we are.
So your first content was TF2?
Yeah, if you go back to my channel to this day, I think the first, I want to say maybe 30 videos are
Jamie,
all...
can you pull that up?
Really?
Yeah, Jamie, pull it up. They're all Team Fortress 2 videos.
I'll pull it up. Here you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Jez,
whatever you do...
Asking? Go ahead.
Do not watch any of those videos. Sorry, you go ahead, Rob.
Do you mind me asking how old you are? I don't have the faintest idea how old you are.
Mm-hmm.
You could be...
Right.
You could be... I imagine
seriously
anywhere from 25 to 40. I just don't know.
I am 26. 26 right now.
Okay, so you're 93 or 94?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, 1993. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Dude, nice. Damn, you just ballparked that.
Well,
wait,
I'm
what?
20.
I'm
20. I turned 26 this year.
We're all pretty much in the same age group here.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 26 right now.
Oh, okay. I was counting your videos. It was the first 25.
25 videos. Yeah. Wow.
And
What's the first video title?
The first one is TF2 Scout 27 Killstreak Harvest face cam commentary, and I love the little picture of Jez in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now I'm
Oh,
embarrassed.
I remember
I'm
that. I
embarrassed.
remember.
Let's watch it together. No.
You used to do that in D2 back when we first met. I think it was when I was with Tash and you guys
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
do trials. And I didn't get it, but I was like, hey, he's doing his thing. You always had like that circular face cam in
Yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
video. That's
Yo,
throwback.
Yeah, I
Listen,
forgot
I
that
was
you
new to
had
editing.
Oh,
Hey, he realized what's the moneymaker? That beautiful face. So he's like,
Mhm.
slap that on there.
no corners.
That's how you got
Dude.
me. You know, I thought,
shotgun heavy, 34 kill streak. You were a gamer.
I
Dude,
remember
I
I
was-
did think that though when I first saw like your video and like you streaming. I was like, he's very handsome. I was
Thank
like,
you.
he's very handsome,
I remember Rob's
you.
just like, hey, do you know this guy? He's really handsome. I was
very
like,
handsome.
Fruit, I don't know how it was for you in the early days of YouTube, but it literally took me 20 videos to even get my audio where I wasn't accidentally peaking into distorted levels for the entire video.
brother,
Like,
that was,
I was so dumb.
uh,
I didn't know
mine
how
was
to do
more than
60
20.
FPS.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was like, we still.
Well, I
was
knew
I
how
still
to
try
do-
and have a peak.
I knew how to do 60 FPS, but for
Okay.
me, I was limited literally up until I think like the Taken King, maybe
Yeah.
even into the Taken King. I was still only doing 720p 30 frames.
Yeah.
And I look back and I was like, why didn't anyone watch it? It looks like a potato. But like that was literally the best. I was playing on a janky 720p monitor. I had an
Yeah.
Elgato that would only capture 720p 30. Like that's what I had.
Yeah.
I made it work.
That's what they got.
And then the audio stuff. So, funnily enough, it took me a while. And granted, I never really peaked my audio much. Sometimes I would, but then obviously we started doing Dream Team, and I shouldn't go without my saying, Rob very quickly peaked audio, like literally
That's
every
me.
video.
That's me.
And so the problem was, I would make my videos, render them out, put them on YouTube, and it would be like, why are the videos so quiet? Like I have it turned up all the way, I can barely hear it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why are they so quiet? So I keep like adjusting the I'm listening in Premiere. I'm like, this, like my ears are bleeding. Like it's loud enough. Like
I remember
what's
you
happening?
asking me about this too. Like, do you know anything about this?
Yeah,
And I
I'm
was
like, bro, like I'm listening. It's like and then I go to YouTube, 100 volume, everything. I'm like, I was like, what's going on? And this took me a while, and it kept trial and error. I would like bump up all the gain. I was like, I would re-render it. I was like, what's going on? Because I was going crazy. I like listened to the rendered video. I'm like, okay. And then I go to YouTube and I was like, why is it quiet? And what I didn't realize is YouTube will auto compress. So if it hits a hard limit, YouTube automatically, it just once, if it hits at once at all and it detects it, it brings the whole audio down to where it sees that peak to where it's no longer peaking.
I'm pretty sure like the cap on YouTube specifically is like -2 decibels.
I think it's
Something like that.
-1.
Right.
Because I
-1,
do
something like that.
Because I hadn't heard of a limiter before that.
Yeah.
I felt like super
I
stupid.
upload videos on YouTube, bro. I didn't know about all this.
Yeah, so like I mean, like I knew Premiere pretty well, but I just like the audio stuff. Like I was always visual, so I never
You
knew
didn't
any of
know
the
that
audio
the-
stuff.
You needed to hit like a certain, and this is how it is for like not just obviously the internet's very lenient, but like on TV too. Like you have to, your actual like the highest cap of your audio needs to be below a certain decibel
Threshold,
limit, or
Right.
you'll get like terrible auto compression.
Well, and the thing too is like
Everywhere you go.
every network and stuff has their own specifications and stuff.
Yeah.
But so I didn't know that. So then I finally learned. I think I was talking to Tefty. Tefty finally helped me out because I was tweeting like, guys, like I need help. And Tefty's like, I know audio, let me help you. And so we figured out like step one was
he
the
does.
limiter. And so I just
What a
found a
man.
little option. You click limiter, and I set it like -1.4 decibels. Blew my mind. Audio ever since has been fine because I didn't realize like no matter what you do, it's gonna pop it. Well, geez, as I hit my mic. For like audio listeners or any listeners that don't understand audio, essentially, so what it was doing is it's like a noise gate almost. So when it hits a certain threshold, when it would hit -1.4 decibels, it wouldn't go above that.
It would just cut it off.
It would just it would just flatten right there. And so what that did was then I uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube sees, okay, cool, it never hits this threshold that we look for, which is evidently higher than -1.4. And so it's like, all right, audio is all good. And like the first time that I uploaded, I was like, It had been like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, between like whisper audio and then the 720 garbage, I was like, at that point I was like, how do I have like 300,000 subscribers? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought I was like, you got to understand, man.
If you look back to like your current audio compared to like back when we were like Dream Team was like the hotness, night and day audio quality.
Like, yeah, it's any wonder anyone became a Dream Team fan. I'm surprised no one just got on, like, my ears started bleeding. And
we're lucky our
out.
radiant personalities carry.
I remember too that like I had that snowball and I had it plugged in, but then I didn't realize that on Audacity I didn't have Blue Snowball attached, like or chosen. So it would just it would just like because like you notice in the first Dream Team my mic is really good because like I had it then and then like when I plugged it in the next time it just had my default on the microphone that my laptop had, which was just trash.
Yeah,
I would always
like
put Rob's audio in it, and then compared to mine and Blue's, it was just like, ow.
Yeah, so bad. And then I think it was like it had to have been like 30, 40 episodes in that like I was like, why is my audio so bad? Like I'm just so over it at this point. And then I looked at the back and like the thing was upside down, so I had to like put that in correctly, and then it finally showed up, and then I was able to select it, and it worked fine.
God,
yeah.
Rob is just the classic audio like
bad
enigma for us because not only did he have a legacy for having a terrible mic, he ended up also having a legacy for having a popcorn mic when he finally got a good mic.
Like, and then this is even bad. Like this isn't even that great. Like I'm still notoriously pretty bad having an audio setup, but
I think it actually kind of worked in your favor though, because a lot of people who watch like some people might know like H2O Delirious. He has a potato mic, but that's just what people know him for.
That's his brand.
And I think like you raging and everything, and then with it being a potato mic, I think it just kind of like added to it.
That's funny.
But so that was so to everybody that thinks like I need the perfect quality before I can make stuff. No. You can just make stuff, start somewhere. Get lucky is the main part.
The quality is not in the equipment. The quality is in the content.
So you upload TF2. When does Destiny kind of start coming into the picture?
I did I think like I want to say like a year. I don't know what the time frame is between the first and last TF2 vid, but it was like I want to say around a year maybe of just like learning how to effing edit. And then I quit Team Fortress for Destiny when Destiny I started playing Destiny on my birthday, September 16th, which is the day Vault of Glass launched.
It's 2 days after my birthday. Nice.
And my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, bought me a white PS4. I'd never owned a console before then because another friend of mine just mentioned it kind of offhand. Yeah, I'm playing Destiny now. It's really cool. It's kind of like Halo. Lol, how wrong we were. But I just was playing Destiny and then just transitioned the channel. And I had 1,000 subscribers right as I transitioned from Team Fortress 2 to Destiny.
That's a pretty decent amount, like through TF2, like 1,000, like from like that's good, I think.
Very good.
1,000 in a year, yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah, from zero, yeah.
I remember when I started uploading, and I was so excited because I had like 2,000. I was like, oh my god, like I'm famous. Like this is like, but I mean, obviously. Look at where we are now, but like back in the day, like that excitement of like hitting a cap, no matter how small it was like that's just a feeling you just never get again.
It's true.
Do you remember like what video it was in Destiny that kind of was like at that point it was kind of the peak upward?
I had like 3 videos go like pretty viral on the Destiny subreddit at the time. Like I literally took the Mr. Fruit approach, but with just less videos that went viral. It was like the stream.
Except you probably didn't get banned, so good for you.
Right. Well, I mean, you got banned, but at what cost? Because you now have all the subs in the world.
I was a martyr.
I'm proud of you.
I had to die for this.
Yeah.
I had to get shadow banned to be where I ended.
At one point, Fruit asked me to post one of the videos he made to the Reddit because he was like, "Can you
post one too?"
Yeah. He's like, "Can you post this on the Reddit?" And like, here's the title. Here's what you could put in the description.
I did that because I was like, I'm pretty sure like they flag any of my content, and I think I'm right. I don't think any link to my channel
just you. I'm pretty sure it was Fruit and Mtash that made them crack down on content creators because we were just farming views before then. And then you guys, I just think, went a little too hard. And they were like, all right, that's enough, guys. Like, Jesus Christ, we get it.
Well, I actually didn't like do it. The only times I would do it was every Friday when I did like an ad.
Yeah.
And then a montage, which only had like 3 montages.
Those popped so hard though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the ironic thing is, like, I never even did that. The only reason I did that was because the first ad I did for the Worm of the Husk, whatever, someone posted it to Reddit, and that's why I did so well. I was like, okay, I guess people like it, and I'll just post it.
Yeah.
And then
no self-advertising, man.
Well, I think the thing that they shadow banned me for was I tweeted like the Reddit post.
Right.
And they saw that as like farming upvotes, whatever.
Yep.
And so that was it.
Yeah. Dude, the Reddit back in the day was just a wide open field for
Wild
content
West.
creators.
Big old farm,
dude.
Did you post your Zer video, Blue, to Reddit?
Yeah, my video was when Zer comes to tower. That was back when that was like near the start of the game. So Zer used to sell heavy ammo, and that's how people got all their heavy ammo synths.
Right.
So my silly little Zer video that had "Make It Rain" playing in the background with a bunch of Zer strippers. Don't know how that made it on the Reddit. That shit popped off, and I was like, "Wow, oh my god! Like this, YouTube is tight."
Yeah.
Nowadays, unless it's a post about simping or hating on Destiny, no. I'm just
Or
kidding.
hating on content creators in the Destiny community.
God, what a different landscape it is now.
The only time I see my name
Very
is usually
strict
in
now.
stuff like that.
Dude, I remember I went from literally in like the span of 3 to 4 videos, which all went like semi-viral on the Reddit. I went from just under 10 to literally 45,000 subs on YouTube in just a few months. It was wild.
Destiny was crazy for content creators. Like as far as like growing channels, it was like a different, like there's huge, like people were getting average viewership that you would see like literally channels with millions of subs getting. And like the retention was crazy because like you'd have someone like Jez right here, right? 45,000 subs, right? Pop 200,000 videos view. He's just hilarious. And then in our dream team, we were popping off. It was like we're getting something like only 150,000 viewers. Like that's a pretty slow video. Like
we're still popping off.
We're still popping off, but like that, like when Destiny was starting, it was just.
But yes, I get what you're saying.
It was different. Like
it was
crazy.
Well, it was like I would almost every video was like 1-to-1, like views to sub ratio, which is literally just like unheard of. I was like, this is insane.
Totally.
And this is what subs? YouTube is just like.
I was like 300,000 subs, 300,000 views. I was like, this is great.
And you would upload every day, so that was just an everyday thing.
And then now I get what 1% of my audience? No,
that's
5%
YouTube,
of my
Let's
audience.
Go. We're popping off.
Yeah, now we're at that 5% ratio.
What was YouTube? What is your biggest sub gain in one day? Like, do you know what that number is?
I didn't track it that closely, but then I did like 100K retrospective, and then I went and tracked it. I was like, wow, that really exploded over those 3 months. It was over 40,000 subs. So yeah, wild, just absolutely wild.
Was there any specific those videos that went semi-viral? Were they like a certain template? Like for me, it was like my advertisements. Was it just?
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I remember logging onto the Reddit and seeing those advertisements. I can remember it like it was yesterday, just at the top of the subreddit, baby. Limited time sale, Gallon, buy it while you can.
Wait, one more time. Say advertisement.
Yeah.
Advertisement. Advertisement.
That's so
advertisement.
Advertisement.
I've never heard someone say like that, so you should keep doing that. It's a character.
We say aluminium because we added some extra letters. You guys say aluminum. I don't know why we added the extra letters.
This might be one of those cases.
I just did I don't know if you remember, I just basically made fun of the devs when they streamed the like new content reveals.
Oh, that's right.
That's what they were.
Awkward funny moment highlights. Yeah, and I just made fun of the devs basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Reddit was like, yeah, this guy, F the devs.
I remember that.
Funny, so.
And then I remember a more recent video. It was like Destiny in a nutshell. Like that video. First of all, is dope. And then you made
the flagship series.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I love that series. And like and then you did like other games too, right?
Yeah, I did one for Far Cry 5, dabbled in Assassin's Creed as well. Yeah, it was literally that series that took me from 100K straight to 300K, I want to say, with
Your,
uploading basically nothing in between.
your most viewed videos in order. Destiny 2's campaign in a nutshell. That Far Cry 5 in a nutshell. Actually, it's 2.1 million views. That popped off. The Last Wish raid in a nutshell. Then Meme Saken. But Destiny's Wrath of the Machine in a nutshell. So that's out of the top. You've what? So 5 nutshells out of 6. Destiny 2 PvP in a nutshell. 6 out of 7. Destiny 2's campaign in a nutshell part 2. 7. Every raid, but only the funny parts, featuring Dado. Destiny's Trials of Osiris in a nutshell. Destiny's Crota in raid in a nutshell. Destiny's Crucible in a nutshell. You can start to see the pattern. Like that was, that's like what I do with my advertisement. You realize, wait a second, this is what people like. Bump it, and it popped off.
Let me ask you this, Fruit, because clearly you and I had a good thing going, and neither of us do that thing anymore for the most part. When and why did you transition away from doing those limited videos?
I don't know when exactly.
Okay.
The thing is, out of all the content I did, they were a minute long, and they took the longest. And you know how much money I made from those? Like pennies. Like, you know how much people are like, man, these are so popular. It's like for a minute video on YouTube, there's nothing. You don't get anything from that. And then on top of that, I think I literally covered every exotic. And that's when I started doing like some exotic armor. And I think that was around when I was like, wow. And then I did like a couple of re-advertisements on some. And I think it was like, all right, I kind of like.
We were even saying that, Chris, we're like, we're scraping the barrel down here. Little did we know.
Well, we didn't know what scraping the barrel was.
We did not know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't pinpoint like the exact moment, but it was just kind of around there. Like I could be doing other stuff. This takes a really long time. And then like I wasn't making anything out of it. And again, like the series as a whole kind of started to dip. And like, there's only so much I could do. And again, like I'd done every exotic. So I was like, I'm not going to start. I think I did like a legendary or something. And I was like, this just isn't, doesn't really work.
Okay.
So I would argue that's why.
As well.
Yeah, that's why. Why'd you stop your nutshells?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, literally the same reason, because it was taking the most time and like providing the least amount of, because, you know, YouTube meta was so hardcore, literally 10-minute video or don't get paid lol. So it was like, it's so hard to make those because it's just joke writing. So it's hard to stretch that out, dude. There's no filler. So I was like,
that's a lot of jokes in 10 minutes. That's a long monologue. Like,
I mean, at that point, like you're straight up writing an entire video. It's like people were like, it's not that you're funny on your own. It shouldn't be that. No, writing an entire video is one of the worst processes of all time, because look, every content creator is a perfectionist. Like, let's just be real. So every single second, every single sentence has been read over hundreds of times before uploading that damn video.
Well, and what people don't see is like when you make that Far Cry video, you have to actually play through the Far Cry game and then write it later. Like, it's not like you can just watch the game trailer and be like, oh, I know how to make this video. Like, no, like I have to know what this game is about, what I'm doing, like, and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to take hours of gameplay and like even beating the game to know how it ends, to like give it a fair, it's a lot.
It's a very funny research project.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. And it's like, it's a weird mental game because you're playing the game, but the whole
You're
time
also
I'm aware, I need to make shenanigans happen.
Yeah.
So what dumb stuff can I do? So this will be a funny video later. So it like just changes the whole dynamic of the game. And then you're writing it for, I'd write them for weeks at a time. And then it's the added pressure of the last one got 1 million views. So this one better be good. And I don't know if I can keep writing jokes this much. So yeah.
Well, I think we feel that way with like, I would probably say like Rust for me is like how I feel like is we made a Rust series that people really liked and now they want it back. And
we just can't top it.
And it's like, I know it's like, are we going to catch lightning in a bottle like we did that one day? Cause that was literally 8 hours. And I know we're not. Like, that is just like, maybe we do. I don't know. Like whenever that
maybe in its own way, but it'll never live up to what they want.
It'll never live up to like
Bro,
what they
that's
are gonna
it was
want.
it's so special. And it
Mm.
just sucks that it was like the recognition, like it eventually gets recognition it deserves, but like when we made it, we're like, wow, people really don't like this.
The
And
tr-
only a year later was it like, wow, okay, well, people
Yeah.
like it now. But
Truly, like that's when like you ask Christian like when he feel like he like started doing variety. I feel like that's when he kind of became a variety channel. It's like when the success of like Rust kind of happened. I feel like that's when people kind of accepted the transition that this wasn't just Destiny anymore. That's when I would.
Yeah, I did.
kind of-
Really
I
for-
did variety for a solid year before it really took. Like
Well, yeah,
daily
they would really
variety.
really, Rust was like the
way
first
worse than any of your Destiny videos
big
too.
takeoff. Yeah.
It would literally
Right.
be like Destiny video 200,000 views. This other video 30,000, and it would just be like, "Woo, let's keep going, guys." Thankfully,
Yeah.
it evened out. But the thing for me too about the advertisements is, I mean, maybe your content still kind of was mirrored in the nutshell videos, but for
Right.
me, one, it wasn't sustainable. Two, it wasn't the kind of content like I mainly wanted to do. Like literally, that's really the only content on my channel that was like post production, like narrated over later, edited over later, like all that kind of stuff. Everything else is always live, off the cuff. And yeah, it's just
Wacky.
not as sustainable. Yeah. And so that was part of it too. Like, is this the stuff I want to be making for years to come? Probably not. I want something more sustainable that I can do more often and that I enjoy, and that's just everything else. Which is why, like, people are like, "Why don't you do more montages?" Same thing. Imagine how much time it takes to do this review, except like times 10. And then, first off, can I even find music that won't even be copyrighted? And then it's going to be a short video, it won't make much. And then the whole process, like, and again, that's not what my channel is. So at the beginning, when I had advertisements and montages, and I did like Destiny jokes and everything, it was a lot easier because my channel, like, all I was doing was Destiny. So it was just what's something different I can do in Destiny. And I think that creative constriction made it easier because I had certain parameters. I'm working on this game within this space, so what can I do?
Right.
And so I would just come up with a whole bunch of different stuff, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to do variety, and so it was like I literally, as much as some people won't like, the reason I kept doing the advertisements was because it was growing my channel. It was like a means to an end. It was a means to get to a point where I can do what I can now, which is variety, live commentary stuff. It's pretty much what it was.
When you made the call internally to be like, all right, long term, it's no longer just going to be Destiny. I need to add other stuff. Was that like 50-50, a business decision, and B, you just weren't as passionate about Destiny? What was the mindset?
At the time, I was still pretty passionate about Destiny, but it was just the foresight. Like when I did my old YouTube channel, and even when I started Mr. Fruit, it was never one game. Like up until the point Destiny was really popping, it was literally like 30 uploads, 30 different games. Like my first videos, seriously, it's like everything was almost like a different game. And so that's what I wanted to do was variety. But then I was like, okay, well, Destiny's like, this popped off, and for me at the time, it's like 1,500 views. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I was like, all right, I'll throw in some more, and then it just keeps growing. So at that point, it's like, all right, well, this is what's successful. But then it was in between House of Wolves and Taken King, I think, or maybe around Taken King, where I finally decided, regardless, I'm going to start doing variety because that's what I want to do in the long run. And ironically, I mean, like, that was the high of Destiny, right? Like the Taken King.
Little did we know, yeah.
Yeah, but so like I certainly wasn't burned out or like, man, I'm not really enjoying Destiny. It was just like, I need to get my audience used to this idea. And that's when I started double uploading, because that was the business decision, was like, I can't just stop Destiny. If I just cold cut, that's just a bad idea. And I'm sure I would have kept some people, but that would have, killed a whole bunch of my audience, would have just been dead subs. So as upload Destiny, and then if I'm ever going to upload variety, there has to be a Destiny video that day, so that they can't complain. So people can't be like, where's the Destiny? I'll be like, bro, I literally just uploaded it like 2 hours ago. Like, if you want Destiny, it's still there. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to, but that's how I did it. And then 6 months to a year, it finally started to just kind of blend. And then that's when I kind of made the transition.
Damn, that's so interesting.
I literally found. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go, Rob.
I literally found the first game that you started like with variety. Like it's literally
Battlefield
like
Hardline, I think.
it's literally like Destiny, pretty much Destiny.
There's like Battlefield, GTA, Far Cry.
There's Advanced Warfare. But the first one that I'm seeing here is Roleplay, or like it's a series or something.
Oh, it was a little before that. Yeah, I had this great idea, and I think it was gonna, and it was really grandiose. I was like, this is gonna be sick. And then I was like, oh my god, this is.
You did like an entire like video, like you did like a tutorial video on roleplay too. You're like, this is roleplay, and you were so excited. And then,
I was. And
yeah,
I was
it says roleplay teaser, like 69K.
I was like, this is gonna be a great series. And
what was the idea?
Welcome to roleplay.
So it was like, it was gonna be like a pseudo playthrough of Witcher, but instead I like craft my own narrative and like role play and go through it and narrate it post as like a third person. This is what's happening. This is what I did. And at the time too, like I even asked the guy, because I was like, yo, I got super inspired by your channel, because like I loved his content. I was like, I want to try my own crack at it. And
I know who it is too.
Yeah, Gold Vision,
dude. That dude.
He inspired the Nutshells as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dude,
so Gold Vision. Yeah, if you haven't heard of him,
incredible.
He's like a hidden gem.
He's still a hidden gem. It's criminal.
He has some
of the best content I've ever seen
and it's just so high quality.
Yeah.
And so is some of his videos, where he essentially did what I was going to try and do with roleplay. But I was like, all right, I think I can try my own spin. It's like, I want to do in Witcher. This would be really cool. And then I was like, okay, this would have to be the only thing I can do, because there's just no way I can keep both of them going. And then on top of that, the reception was really lukewarm. So I was like, ugh. It's like one of those things you're really excited about. Yo, guys, check this out. And everyone's like, huh? That doesn't really like interesting. You're like, oh, yeah, no, I wasn't. Stupid. That was stupid. Like, that was. But yeah, it was around there, a little bit earlier, where I was just sprinkling them in. A lot of the first variety was with Arios too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Dude, how did you have the foresight to know, all right, right now, medium to long term, this may not work. It may not take on. I'm tanking some views on the side. I'm double uploading. The variety is suffering, but eventually it'll work. Were you just hoping that it would work eventually?
Yeah. I didn't really have. I mean, because like statistically, I was looking at it, I was like, man, like it was like you just got to stick through it, because man, if it wasn't disheartening to see Destiny, all right, that did really well. All right, how'd the variety do? A sixth of views. Like, oh, and then like, how's the engagement? Like, barely any comments, barely any likes, and it's just like, oh, this is hard to gauge, but I'm liking it. And so, I mean, for me, it was literally just like, I'm not a one game person. I was like, I can't do Destiny forever. And at the time, Destiny wasn't declining. Like, it was like Taken King era. Like, everyone was just booming. So it wasn't so much like, I think this Destiny thing is going to end up failing. It was like, I just, from a business standpoint, I was like, I have to diversify. I can't have all my stock in just this. So that was part of it. And then the other part of it was like my passion, and what I wanted to do is I like a variety of games, variety of genres. And I think a lot of my personality and sometimes entertainment is better suited in different games at different times. And so it's like, I want to do that. Like, I think some of my best videos are non-Destiny videos, even back in the day. And so it was more of just like a hope and pray. And it was also kind of like, well, worst case, I guess I just stick to Destiny.
Right.
Well, to show how diverse or the disparity between them, Christian, you had 1 week where you uploaded the Destiny Jade Rabbit, fully upgraded exotic scout rifle. Would you like to guess how many views that had?
What do you do?
A lot. That would make me sad today.
It had 1 million. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now you uploaded a day before a game called Man vs. Man, unturned gameplay and funny moments.
Oh,
that
Unturned. That's a throwback.
that had 85K views. Like the fact that like in
and the reason too though is that when I uploaded it, it certainly didn't have 85,000. That's been years of it, like like collecting. Because if you go to like my first video right now that I ever uploaded, it's like probably 100,000 or something. At the time, it was like 500 views. Yeah, at the time it was like 500 views, right? Like, so a lot of that's just residual. But I mean that, like, honestly, if you take that percentage out, like about a tenth of the views, like that's pretty accurate.
Oh, shit, I've got
of like how it was uploaded at the time. It'd be like, all right.
Watch your mouth, Danielle.
Somebody's coming.
What the heck, Danielle?
Danielle's just raging at Valorant off to the side. She cannot help herself. It's fine.
I bet she freaked out.
Just dropping massive F-bombs. Can you hear that? Sorry. F you, F you, F you.
Oh my god. Oh, am I being too loud? Oh,
That's funny. Like, my bad.
Yeah.
So for you, at what point when you were doing your content creation, at what point was it like, this is what I'm committed to full time? Or when did you take that change? Like, were you in school or were you doing a job and then you're like, it's time to change? Were you unemployed or whatever? And it was just like, well, let's see where this goes.
I was just working a part-time job in like a retail sporting goods store, essentially, just like walking around on the floor, helping customers with whatever
clothes.
the F.
Beautiful
clothes,
wasted talent.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I had this little thing where I was uploading, and eventually, it just started earning more than the other job. So, and it was around 100K, I want to say, subs, maybe a little less, maybe around 80K.
What did your mom and dad say?
Listen, I did not tell them about the channel literally until I had like a few paychecks in the bag that were like a few $1,000s
like,
each.
to make sure like you could tell them.
Yeah, because my dad's like a tradesman, so like he doesn't understand video games literally at all. And my entire childhood was you're wasting your time, LOL. And so I just never said anything about it. Yeah. And then one day I was like, all right, it pays the bills. This is the thing that I'm doing. Also, I'm going to quit my job pretty soon. LOL, I'm out.
And they're like,
see ya.
Yeah. He was like, oh, maybe hang on to the job for a little bit longer. I was like, oh, okay, that's probably a good idea. Meanwhile, I'd already quit the day before. So.
Yeah, meanwhile, I was like, That's the right way to do it, though.
I didn't do it the right way. I didn't show up to my first shift, didn't even tell him I quit. And I told my dad, I'm streaming. He's like, what's that? And I was like, I'll show you. Like,
right.
No, I
expect it.
My dad was the same way. It was like, I'm doing this. He's like, making money. I like show him a paycheck. He was like, all right, like, you go, son.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. My dad thought, he was like, you're getting catfished. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes like, who would pay for like to play video games, Robert? And I'm like, Dad, no, you don't like get it. Like, yeah, I'm getting paid to play video games, but like, I'm not like, it's not like that. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't know. And then like all of a sudden he was like, why don't you need rent money or grocery store money? And I was like, because I'm streaming, Dad. Like, relax, I'm working. And now like whenever my dad calls, my favorite thing to do is answer the phone. And I'll be like, hi, Dad, I'm streaming. And he'll for some reason act like as if he's on speakerphone, and he'll go, oh, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'll call you back. And it's like, why are you whispering? Like, they can't hear you. Like, you're just on the phone with me. It's funny, though.
It's funny.
But the thing is, I wonder if I have kids and they're like 20 and there's something where they're like, hey, I'm doing this. And I don't understand. I'm like, that's stupid. So like, it's never going to work, son. And then they show me wrong. Who knows? I'd like to think, like I'll be a little more woke. But who really knows?
Yeah.
I'll probably be sticking. I'll be
son,
like,
you're just licking the wall.
VR,
like,
son. That's like you don't understand, or like 4D interdimensional friggin' space travel video game. Pfft, whatever. Dude.
Time travel, son.
Here's a Game Boy, son. Here's a real game.
Yeah.
My dad loves the Game Boys. What is that?
I like Tetris on the original Game Boy brick.
Have you guys ever heard of your parents talk about Pokemon? Like, what is that?
Pokemon Star.
But you're under the impression we're gonna have Pokemon forever.
They would have to mess it up. I mean,
why wouldn't we?
It's like the biggest entertainment franchise overall, especially like highest grossing, I think. Something like that.
Dude, Game Freak just did this really cool thing where they were like, what is literally the worst version of this game that we can ship and see if it's still profitable? And everyone was like, we love it. Continue.
Right now, it's like the third highest selling Pokemon game of all time.
That's out of control.
and it's still rising. And the crazy thing too is it's compared to all the DS games, where at the time the amount of people that owned a DS was like 3 times higher or something.
Wow.
So
yeah, it's crazy. Dude, meanwhile, in the actual game, it's like this could have been on a Nintendo 64, probably with higher frame rate, and yet I'm loving it, not gonna lie.
yeah, that's the worst part too, is like, God, I'm still gonna play it.
Yeah.
And that's why they do it. I mean, I don't think they're literally like, hey, let's make a bad game. I don't think that's like, but they're certainly not. I'm hard pressed to think that they're sitting there like, let's really push the envelope, you know, something like that. But yeah, I mean, Pokemon. My mom, when I was like a little kid, I was like, I like Pokemon. Like I want to like Pokemon wallpaper or something. She's like, it's just a fad. You're gonna grow out of it. It's gonna die out. I'm like, well, here we are now.
I love it, Mom.
And she's
I
like,
bought both copies of the game.
She's like, my bad. I didn't know. It was just a different time.
Is there anything we haven't touched on Jez's lore before we? I guess we've been going for almost 2 hours now. We haven't even gotten to Patreon questions.
Damn.
Well, ask. So was like TF2 your first game? Like what started you on video games?
It was Pokemon on the Game Boy Color when I was a wee lad.
Was it
Pokemon Yellow, actually? Pokemon Yellow.
Oh,
it's a good one.
Yep. Just got like a secondhand little Game Boy Color, and then I proceeded to play all the Pokemon games all of the time until I was an adult. And
kind of sounds like me.
First PC game.
Did you ever do
was
competitive with it or nah?
Dude, I went hard into the Battle Tower. I don't know if you remember the Battle Tower from like Diamond and Pearl era, when it was like actually omega competitive to get a massive like 100+ streak. And I was like min-maxing. I was breeding hardcore. I was literally breeding for weeks, crafting our team. So that was my thing.
To like fight the Battle Tower captains and stuff.
Yeah, because like you go into the Battle Tower, literally they've all min-maxed their Pokemon at like out of their effing minds. They have hacks. They're hitting crits all the time. You can't use any items, and it's basically just how long can you go before they destroy you. So, yeah, I love the Battle Tower, but it's garbage in Sword and Shield. So rip.
Well, you played Did you ever play Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
That is the one generation that I skipped.
Did you play Emerald?
Emerald. I played Leaf Green.
No, Emerald was the third entry to Ruby and Sapphire.
I played Sapphire.
Fudge. Okay, so you didn't play the ones that had the Battle Frontier?
No, I never played the Battle Frontier.
Like, I think they could still improve upon it, but like that was like at the time, it's like why did they ever even take that out as far as like end game goes? Because it was the Battle Tower, but then imagine like 6 other battle things that changed the way. There was like rental factories, where you would take in like rental duo teams. So there was like another one where Pokemon were randomized, like just a whole thing that actually, gave you something to do at the end of the game except for Battle Tower. And don't ask me why, but they've like never brought it back.
Do you know what would be the #1 selling game on the Switch if they came out with it? Pokemon Stadium 3.
I don't know.
Now
I think
you know,
overestimate.
Danielle. Now you know, Danielle.
I think you overestimate how
dude,
it wouldn't sell as well as a main core game.
You don't think so?
No.
If it had every Pokemon, it had like everything that a Pokemon Stadium had.
Probably not. Nope.
No.
Really?
I mean, I'd be down.
Revolution and Stadium weren't exactly like well-selling.
Stadium 2 was so cool.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not saying I don't want one. But I'm not saying it
they were tight, but they weren't like.
You really don't think it would sell as well as Sword and Shield?
Absolutely not. Sword and Shield's one of the highest selling Pokemon games already.
Third highest selling. They just came out with their earning reports. It's all time.
It's gotta be Animal Crossing.
Actually, let me pull it up. Well, so I didn't see the ones with other things, but as far as like Pokemon franchises, let me figure it out because I forget who runs Cerebi. Joe Merrick. Yeah.
Good old Cerebi, dude. God, that's half my childhood in that website.
Yeah.
Dude, amen. So here it is.
I had Heart Gold.
They had lifetime sales to date for Pokemon games. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think this is like top 20 or whatever. So this kind of breaks my heart. At the bottom of it,
Pokemon
as far as core games, is Crystal.
Well, no. Crystal's not like the leading core though.
Well, I mean, it's like a third, but like
What I
anything
thought you were
that's
going to
not
say
like
what broke your heart was Black and White. Because
Oh,
Black
well,
and White is
that-
the lowest.
yeah.
Black and White is the lowest selling of the new launch core titles.
Rip.
So what I meant to say is like these are all the titles that aren't spin-offs.
Yeah.
That aren't like there's Let's Go, but that's still kind of like it's like the Pokemon RPG formula. But yeah, so least is Crystal, which is a bummer because that's like my favorite.
Who's on the cover of that one?
Suicune.
Okay, see, that's how you're gonna have to tell me that because
Shout out to my boy.
Dude, I like anyway.
Crystal was awkward because it was like right at the end of the Game Boy Advance lifespan. So
Right.
So good. Then again, this hurts me. Emerald. But it makes sense. You see a pattern here,
Yeah.
like every
third one.
yeah, like every addition to the series is like lower,
Yeah,
they're just
obviously.
naturally not going to sell as much.
So it goes
Why would
Crystal.
they?
Except for one. The one exception is Pokemon Yellow.
I never
Yeah.
understood why they ever did
August.
that and who would buy the third iteration of the game, but I guess it's you guys who do.
I mean, it's basically the third iteration of the game is basically DLC. It's just
Yeah.
glorified into a physical copy.
So
Yeah.
Crystal,
That little copy.
Emerald, Platinum, Black 2, White 2, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So you see a pattern here. These are all entrances into the whatever gen they were, but after,
Yes, so
like the
lucky.
third editions.
What a dickhole.
Fire Red, Leaf Green. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I'm surprised this one didn't sell more. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Still
That's
sold
the best
well,
one.
but
The best
Yeah, that one.
Pokemon games.
Omega Ruby and Sapphire.
Mhm.
Then we have the highest one that's not a core,
Stages in-
Yellow. Pokemon Yellow.
Yep.
Wow.
Pokemon Yellow. Pokemon
Okay.
Yellow sold hotcakes.
That one popped
Wait, where
off.
is Diamond and Pearl? Is DMP on there?
Yeah.
Diamond Pearl
we'll get to
is
that.
pretty
Oh, okay.
middle
So
of
then-
the road, I'm pretty sure.
So that was the
Okay.
bottom 12 or whatever. Then the rest are the new
Core,
gen
yeah.
games, core games.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lowest core game, which like
This
Blue
one
said,
hurts.
yeah,
This one
Black
really
and
does
White,
hurt.
Gen 5. Which to me,
Second best set of games Pokemon wise for me.
yeah, like
That was like when I started phasing out of Pokemon. That's when I gave up. Like
it was
that.
so good.
It was so good,
So
and it's so sad because that's actually when a lot of people started phasing out.
Mm.
But obviously they managed to bring it
But
back. But
the thing too
nonetheless.
though is like for every person that's phasing out of Pokemon, there's like 5 kids
Oh, there's
getting
like
into it.
yeah, it's
Exactly.
5 try 50.
So that's why there's always like this new thing people don't like, and then the nostalgia thing. Like, oh, I'm a Gen 1er, I get that. And then there's everyone else.
That's why they
so
keep
then,
bringing back Charizard, bro. It's people love Charizard. Charizard sells copies, bro.
then Sun and Moon. Then Ruby Sapphire.
Let's go A. I can ult on
Then
that.
X and Y.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yep.
Then Diamond and Pearl.
just-
Diamond and Pearl, classic goes.
So then coming in at third is Pokemon Sword and Shield,
Yes.
which has already surpassed Diamond and Pearl by about 1 million copies.
Now,
Damn.
now I'll tell you why. It's because it's on the Switch. You put
100%.
any of these Pokemon games. You could put the worst Pokemon game that's on that list and put it on the Switch. It
I'm
would
on
be
site,
third.
I have bomb on
Well,
site,
no,
down
here's the
here.
thing though. Diamond and Pearl, X, Y, Ruby Sapphire, Sun, Moon, Black and White all came out on a system with more people that owned
Yeah.
it. A
Yeah,
lot more people
Switch,
owned it.
but Switch also just has way more
it's
cultural
like
relevance.
on a console. You know, this is the
Yeah.
first one that's like on a console.
Well, the
Like-
Switch is the first thing of its kind, really. So I mean,
That's
Switch
the only
is-
reason why I think it's there. You could put any of those Pokemon games on the Switch, and it would be third,
Well-
probably even better.
That's kind of what they did with the Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. They of course
Yeah.
mixed up a little bit, but they went straight to Gen 1, as much nostalgia, and
That
it's at nearly at the bottom of the list.
great business decision. Okay, and the reason I say this is because despite it not selling a ton, like in the grand scheme of things,
Sorry,
that title was
teleporting when she did it.
Danielle's going in.
Danielle,
That ti-
appreciate the Valorant updates. Thank you. You're so loud. It's all good.
so
I don't think we can ever stream together. 'cause I'm-
It's fine. You're a guest star of mine.
So the point is that Let's Go was meant to re-attract a lot of people who haven't played Pokemon in a long time. So a lot of the reason Sword and Shield probably sold well is because Let's Go sold not as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. maybe a lot of people bought it for that, and then they're like, well, I already have it.
Well, I played Let's Go. What could be what? Sword and Shield can't be that much more complicated.
So second is Gold and Silver. At 5 million more units than Sword and Shield. It's at 23 million. So unsurprisingly, Gen 2. And then without any surprise, number one, red, green, and blue. But mind you, like I didn't realize just how much, and especially at the time, sold almost 32 million units. Like literally, that has to be like every Game Boy. Someone has like a red, green, or blue. Like,
well, you had to. If you why'd you have a Game Boy?
That was the main selling point from not just me as a kid, but from what my parents' understanding was you get a Game Boy to play Pokemon.
But like, it's crazy to think like that's why it had the impact it did. That's how far it reached. Like that number is insane.
Yeah, red and blue are straight up not just the highest selling Pokemon games, but like some of the highest selling games of all time.
And so that's why, I mean, I don't know if any Pokemon games, like almost 32 million. Right. Sword and Shield are sitting at a little over 18.
I feel like Pokemon Stadium 3, if like that was on that list, I feel like it would crack that top 12.
Nah.
I feel like it would be like 12.
Pokemon Stadium lifetime sales. Let's see how they did.
All right. Can we agree in the meantime that the Mega Revolutions from X and Y were the best effing gimmick that they've ever added out of all the gimmicks?
Mega Evolutions? I love Mega
Competitively, I don't like it so much. But
annihilated things, but the concept was tight.
Yeah, right. And some of those designs, like I'm sad we lost them because so many of those designs were bangers.
Now,
bangers, dude.
Can we agree that whatever the Sword and Shield one is absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever seen?
I love.
I actually like Dynamax.
I think it looks just dumb and gimmicky. I don't get it.
The reason I love it so much is because it makes a lot of like Pokemon you didn't think would be viable, like straight up super viable. So I'm biased.
Right. Okay, plus so Pokemon Stadium lifetime sold 5.4 million.
Yep.
And that puts it at the 6th highest. It's only a little bit below Super Smash Brothers, which is actually really surprising. But I think that was one of those cases of this is the first 3D Pokemon game, like
right.
On the, I think it's kind of the same thing.
Though that game is so sick. I still play it right now.
But to put it in perspective, Pokemon Stadium 2 half the sales. Like at me,
that's sad because it's way better.
Because Stadium 2 is way better.
Oh, Stadium 2 is so
and it was only a year apart too. That's the craziest thing.
Think about it. Stadium 3, dude, the hype. I guess
I mean the closest thing we had to Stadium 3 was Battle Revolution. That was out on the Wii.
What's the numbers, Mr. Fruit?
I don't know. Let's look.
Battle Revolution.
I don't think it's very good. Sales. Not very good. I wanted that, but I didn't have a Wii.
I was gonna say I don't think I ever got it, and I had a Wii.
Yikes.
1.2
million. That's lifetime. 1.2 million. That might be the worst Pokemon game.
Rob, I love you, buddy. But Stadium 3 would not pop on.
You don't think Stadium 3 would beat 1.2 million?
I think it would be 1.2 million.
I think purely because it'd be on the Switch, it would probably sell somewhere like between Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 for sure.
But here's the tough part too, though. At the time, with Stadium and Battle Revolution, was the fact that I get to now see my Pokemon battle in 3D.
The gimmick was it wasn't a gimmick. It was just
the draw. Yeah, I mean that's what it was. But we have that in Sword and Shield. So they would have to
unlimited Pokedex though. Like no every.
I mean, eventually we're gonna get that. Like we're either eventually gonna get that with Gen 8. We're either going to get it with Gen 8 or we'll get it with Gen 9. I mean, literally the DLCs are just throwing it back in so it's national. But they would have to have something besides just like, hey, fight with these. And obviously they would have to bring mini games back, but there would have to be something else. I don't even know what they would do.
Yeah.
That would just draw people in.
I don't know, like ladder or something.
There's already that.
You have that in Sword and Shield. Yeah.
The entire trash. It doesn't have the whole national Pokedex. This one would have.
That's great, but like the whole point, people didn't buy Stadium because I could play with every Pokemon. People bought Stadium because I want to see my Pokemon in 3D. And Sword and Shield is literally that.
Yeah, I guess. Because I guess at the time it was like those sprites.
I did.
Mm.
You went literally from like 8-pixel black and white to like Zapdos, granted like 20 polygons, but Zapdos, like, dude, there it is. And then you have the announcer, like, Zapdos prepares to attack. You're like, this is like the anime, dude. This is sick. Yeah.
I'm Ash.
Well,
Dude.
yeah.
When are we gonna get the effing Breath of the Wild, but it's Pokemon level of content?
That's the game you're never getting.
Bro, welcome to GG
Never.
Over Easy. Where
It's
we've
never
probably talked about that too many times.
If it happens, if it happens, it's not gonna be by Game Freak.
Hey, we've checked the GG over easy boxes. Destiny check, Pokemon check. Like that's the
Right.
Well, like the thing too, we talked about like a Pokemon MMO or something too. We'd like problem is if they do that, like they can't make more games really. Like the whole reason they always do these gimmicks and they restrict here and there, or they don't add that many additions in between each one, is because like they have a cycle. They're releasing new ones. They got to do this, and so very rarely in a gen, like Gen 5 feels like one of them, where it's like, wow, this feels like this was a lot more than I expected. It turned out really cool. It just feels like they're always like, yo, this is a great idea. But we already like used too much. Save that for the next gen. Or like,
Right.
oh, okay, we have that. Let's save that for another game. And so like if we were to get like Breath of the Wild, I mean, I'm all for it. And I think honestly that's what Pokemon is moving towards with the wild area. Did you play the new DLC at all?
Mhm.
So I mean that's all the DLC was a big wild area. I think that's where the games are headed, to where it's just more of hopefully less linear, more open world. You see the Pokemon in the world and stuff. And I mean, I feel like that's where it's got to go at this point. But I don't know if we're ever going to get a game like Breath of the Wild size, or like to such a... They're never... Like, Breath of the Wild was a crazy reimagination. Like, they flipped everything up. They changed so much. It was like, they blew you away. And I feel like Pokemon would be like, we have all these great ideas. Okay, well, let's only use like 2. It'll be open world and stuff, but then we're going to like, the scope of the game is going to be small, or like it's open world, but really it's linear, something like that.
it's open world, but it's just Gen 1.
As much as I love this conversation, this is the 5th time we've had it on GG Easy, so we should probably go to Patreon questions.
I talk about it forever.
All right. Let's find one here.
I guess it just means we'll need to have Jez back on,
True.
We didn't get
Okay,
to
this
finish
question
our
is from
talks.
Jumby. He asked, question for all. We all know we like to watch you in our spare time, but who do you like to watch in your spare time?
I was just watching Mr. Fruit's video with his wonderful fiance. What game was that you guys did?
Was it the biped?
Yes.
It was like the little puzzle game where you had to like...
Yeah. Dude, we all watched that on the couch together. We were dying laughing. That was so funny.
It was fun.
But yeah,
I'm honored you watch me.
I loved it.
I think we've answered this before, so I'll just Leopard Stealth on Twitch for me. I like watching Leopard.
Currently, Wolfie VGC. He was Pokemon.
Why did you take that from me?
Sorry.
You can't yoink that from me, dude. That was my answer.
Well, I also watch Cybertron, Aaron Zhang. He also does competitive Pokemon.
Do you comment?
No.
Do you like?
He followed me back, dude. That's that guy. That's gonna...
Do you like his video? Do you like the video?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
So you don't.
Well, I have to remember. I don't normally do it with my main channel because it messes stuff up. But
yeah, so you have a Smurf YouTube?
I do. I do have a Smurf.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he has to. He can't comment on everything on Mr. Fruit.
Do you have a Smurf, Jez?
No.
No, you don't have like a Smurf.
Jez wants to be like, yo, shrimp on the Barbie, bro.
Okay.
That's a Smurf.
You know it, baby. Calling card.
This question is from Whoa. Says, if you had to lose one of the 6 senses, which would you choose?
I've already lost feeling, so we're already chilling.
Taste.
Oh, taste is good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
I might
But
even-
then it kind of
No, what? Losing
But then it's
taste?
kind of sad
Yeah.
though, man. Like
No.
the thing,
Then
like
I
you
think
would-
it'd be a
then you would
blessing in
obviously-
disguise. Then I
No,
could
what?
eat healthy.
Yeah.
Like it
What?
wouldn't matter because it'd be like, hey, eat this. It has 2,000 carbs or like,
but then you're
like
not
calories.
eating healthy. You're just eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you're just eating like out of like a
Necessity,
for like
which
a
is fine.
system.
yeah. Like I'm with
I
you.
wish I could do that right now, but I'm weak.
Dude,
I like
love food too.
sugar,
I love
alright?
I love food too much.
Mine would
man.
probably be just be touch, just because like I do not want to lose sight or like hearing or smell.
What's Sid
I-
gonna think about that? Mm,
I think the one thing I
Oh.
could probably do that is smell, but I would probably actually lose touch personally.
Mm.
Okay, maybe
Right.
smell actually. Yeah, maybe smell because then like I haven't
Smell's
really
probably
like,
the least consequential.
if I smell anything like poo poo, like I'm like I just can't with
Yeah.
smell.
Right.
So maybe that.
What would you do, Jess?
Um,
Dude, I'm sick of being a slave to the effing mouth pleasure that is food. So get rid of that taste. Easy.
Let's
really?
go. It would be liberating for me. Like, ah.
Liberate. That's
'Cause right now-
awful.
I literally right now, if I could, I would prefer to just like Willy Wonka give me a tablet.
Yeah.
Get
What?
Because it's my crutch, dude. Like it's my. I'm a slave to food.
I can.
I am a glutton.
I've
or
considered
whatever.
this because it's like I would be so much more efficient if I just didn't. I couldn't taste, but like, bro, it's just food tastes so good. I can't lose that feeling.
I'd find
It's
pleasure elsewhere.
euphoric. I get like it's like it's dude.
I'm
no.
with you, Blue. I care too much about like how food tastes, and like if a piece of broccoli tastes the same as a Whopper for me, like what was my sense of living at that point?
How are you
You
gonna?
know,
What's
like-
the point of? What's
That's
the
the
point
dream.
of
What
munchies?
is
Yeah, that's like
know,
yeah.
like-
You're a big villain, then.
Why am I doing this?
Think
you
about
know?
this. Think about how sad this would be for Rob. All right, just so you guys can put in perspective. Rob tokes up a real nice one. Wow, man,
Well,
it's gonna
good,
be such
good
a-
for
it's
him.
gonna
He's
be-
having a great
it's gonna
time.
be such a good night. And then he gets hungry and he's like, "Man, I can't
He's
wait to
looking
get some
around.
food." But you know what? When he doesn't have taste, he's not thinking this is gonna taste so good. He's thinking, "Well, I have successfully smoked this weed, and now I guess I have to conform to my bodily function of consuming food."
It's like not. It's not even that. It's just like I hate the taste of broccoli, and you know, like
Oh my god, here we
Yeah, what does
I
this have to do?
What does it have to? I was talking about. Never mind. Do your thing.
like I hate the taste of broccoli,
Well, you wouldn't have to
like-
anymore.
but I love the taste of like bad food for me. So like to
Dude.
lose
yeah, exactly.
that taste of like the food and like how the good food and then the bad food.
Okay, well, same
like-
thing.
Yeah.
Think of all the nice things you've smelled. Also,
Nah,
Dara,
not really.
I'm going to argue here. It's been linked that a lot of your memories are linked to smell.
I agree with that. It's so great.
You're gonna lose out
a
on
lot of
that.
my
Remember all
memory.
the
A lot of
tablets.
my memories are linked to food. So I mean,
You'd be surprised. A lot of it probably links back to the smell of it. Then you think of everything else.
oh no! When I ate that Chipotle burrito the other day, I tasted that shit. I
All
look
right, we have-
forward to food, so it's hard for me. Like if I'm just,
I
if
do too, and
I-
that's the problem.
I know, but like when you actually eat it though, like you can't actually tell me like, dude, I would hate to taste this Chipotle burrito.
Well, I'm like, dude, this is so good. And then 2 hours, I'm like, why did I do that? I hate myself. I wake up next morning, man, if I had just not eaten that, that's how I do. I do it to myself, and that's part of the problem. And if I could free myself from that, that's how I see it.
But you're not
That
even
just makes me
human.
sad,
You're not
yeah.
human at that point.
I'm with you, Blue. It's just
You're
like
just going
why-
through the motion. Like you're just.
Yo,
It's like what am I?
all
Why
those
am I
people
doing
out
this?
there that don't have a sense of taste are like, oh, I guess I'm not human. Thanks, guys. Like,
No,
wow,
but they
okay.
did. But that's not their choice. You chose to get rid of a privilege of tasting
Alright.
delicious.
So why
food.
would you get rid of smell? I could go the whole thing of your guys' thing.
Because it's just smell. If I smell poo-poo water, I don't smell it. There's no poo-poo water.
True.
Tight. That's sick. That's a superpower.
It's
Just same thing
water.
with food. If you taste something bad, you don't have to do that again.
But there's good too, and it's
And there's good
delicious.
smells too.
But I think the good food outweighs like what
Yeah,
the good
exactly.
smell gives me. You know,
I've
And the
Like,
good
never had-
smells don't.
There's never been a point
You
where I'm
guys
like,
are
wow, this is one of
blinded.
the best. I need to smell this again.
yeah,
But there have been many times where like, yo, this food's so, but I need to come here again.
yeah.
guys
We have a
make me
question
sick.
from I Am Brady. This is going to be something relaxing. What is y'all's favorite TV show right now at the moment?
Umbrella
This is
Academy
good.
season 2.
I've heard it's a banger. I haven't even
Just
watched
finished
season
it.
1.
So good.
My favorite right now is the first season of Umbrella Academy because I'm watching through it right now.
Dude, it's so
Oh.
good. I even think season 2 is better than season 1, and season 1 was a banger.
Oh, bro, stop.
Jez?
I don't watch TV literally at all, so that's a pass.
Really?
So,
Just
okay,
like
what's
Not
your
even like a
favorite-
streaming service?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I kind of right now I'm watching some YouTubers and just like trying to pick up
Mr.
some hot
Fruit.
editing tips, like obviously Mr. Fruit, but guys like Andrew JRT, Tuxbird, that do like hilarious like Omega meme edits. That's the kind of stuff that I'm always like, teach me, you know. So,
Mhm.
my jam.
This is gonna be
Sony
weird.
Vegas.
So for Anime Club, I've been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And
Ooh.
then dude, weird show I picked up lately, Friends. I like it a lot.
Why are you a boomer? Jeez.
Friends is awesome. It's really cool. I always thought it
I
was
mean, why
like
do you think
Blue-
people like it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Just kind of
great.
wholesome sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it's just they're funny. It's just like, that was kind of funny.
It's a sitcom.
I was just like, I like that. Yeah, it was good. Now, dude, I didn't realize, dude, they got paid for Friends. Like,
Oh,
they are like,
bro,
they-
like a million
like they
episodes.
don't have. Yeah, like they got like Game of Thrones money for like 20-minute sitcom episodes, which is
Yeah.
nuts. Like I guess everybody just watched it. I just always was like, I don't get it, but I get it.
Guys, start watching Friends and then taking hot acting notes so we can figure out how we can make that kind of money. I
Right.
appreciate that.
Okay, I'll get on it.
I know you're a good note taker.
A lot of these questions like are to Jez, and they're like, "What are your favorite things about the USA, and what are your least favorite?" And it's like, well, we kind of just like already went through
Yeah,
that.
we've probably already made him hate his life enough.
This question is from Vaxi. It says, if you could be in any movie or show universe, what would it be?
I don't know, man. A lot of them sound
Got it,
good, but
yeah.
they would be miserable.
Mm.
Like, I want to be like, hey, Avatar, like Last Airbender, but then I got to worry about people just like straight up. Here's my house. Oh, it just got earthbended.
yeah.
Oh, this is a nice day. Someone just burned me with fire. Like, I'm like, that seems miserable. Like, I don't trust people. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, maybe Pokemon's not bad. Do I really want a human-sized bee just flying around?
Right.
I don't really know
Mhm.
one where it's like, yeah.
God, I don't know either. Like, I was thinking like Westworld, but then like living in a world where like your whole life is controlled by like that AI robot. But then again, like we kind of are. Like,
So then what?
already?
You're
Like,
not. So you're already there. So like, why do you
yeah,
need to?
so it's like, like maybe I am living in that world. I want to say like part of me wants to say like the Matrix, because like it would just be cool to like find out that this all is a simulation and stuff like that, and to be like one of the ones that like I'm out. Like, but I'll just say that just for like that cool, like I got out of the Matrix. But it would also be extremely scary and terrifying to have robots chasing me and all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
It's a
if
cold
like
reality right there.
if a stipulation is like you go into this world with plot armor, that changes
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, sure.
But there
Let's
isn't
give
that
you some-
stipulation. So it's like I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe like I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Like, oh, that'd be cool. But would it? Being conquered by Mongols, or like going back and being like a knight in the medieval ages where stubbing your toe equals death, or
Right.
like me, I'd be blind. I have glasses, really. Like no one would be able to help me there. I would have died by asthma when I was younger. Like no one showers. Can you imagine what it smelled like back then? That's what stuff. No air conditioning, bro. Wherever it goes, they need AC. I'll say that.
My decision is easy. Harry Potter. It's the 90s. We're in England. We have magic. We're big chillin'.
Okay, but what if you went there and you're a muggle?
Well, then that's, I guess, the roll of the dice, and I kill myself easy.
And the worst part too, though, is you wouldn't even know everything else is going on.
Yeah.
So
Damn,
maybe
that's a big dice roll.
No, stick with
No,
me
I'm
here.
still rolling the dice on
Maybe
it.
we're
I think it's worth
muggles
it.
right now, and that is going on.
I
and
mean,
we are in
can't-
that universe.
We can't not prove that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'm a wizard and I've just been hiding it this whole time.
Damn.
Just saying.
That's crazy.
What do you
That's
got?
That's a pretty good one.
Did Blue answer?
I don't know. Probably like My Hero or something.
Yeah, but then to
Same
be
problem
like,
as like
just a
Avatar, though.
billion, and I'm just chilling here, and a fucking Texas smash comes through my living room. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but there's a chance I'd have like a dope quirk too, so we're chilling.
See, roll the dice. As odds are you get something stupid, and I would be bitter for my whole life. Like, look at All Might out there, and then like what I can do is like
my
Move a
fingernails grow
move-
at an exponential
move a
rate.
mechanical pencil a foot with my mind. Like that's my quirk, you know? It's like, what the heck, man?
It's like
This is
my
what I
fingers
got.
are USBs. Like,
Yeah, something that like makes my life maybe even worse somehow. It's like, and then on top of that, again, you don't have plot armor.
on the
Man.
bottom half of a deer. Like,
Yeah, it's something like just terrible. Or like my hands are just like webbed feet or something. I don't even have like opposable appendages. Yeah, no.
hey, you can swim just a little bit faster.
But I wouldn't be able to breathe in water. Like I would just have webbed feet, you know?
Right. And also, how would you frag? And that's a problem.
Exactly. That's a big
Last
point.
question here from Dark Side says, question for all. Do you guys like watching intentionally bad movies? And if there is there a bad movie that they're good? All right, i.e. Sharknado. If so, what is your favorite?
The only time I ever did that was Rubber, and I regret it.
Rubber. What's Rubber?
Mhm. As a show, it's literally about a killer tire. The tire blows
Oh my
people
God.
up with telekinesis.
Damn, dude.
And someone's like, dude, it's so bad it's good. Nope, it was just bad.
Right.
So I
That's pretty,
can't do it.
it's pretty big into Sharknado back in the day. I love that movie. So Sharknado's it.
I when I'm watching a bad movie, and normally when I'm watching a bad movie, I'm not in a theater setting because I'm not going to pay for it. So like I just have the ability to go, this sucks, like, and just turn it off. So like before like I even get through it, I normally just have it turned off by the time I'm like, this is just terrible. So like I don't watch good movies out of like curiosity or like, ooh, I heard this is bad, I have to watch it. That being said, I do need to watch Cats, like the one that just kind of recently came out. I do
So my
have to-
curiosity doesn't even outweigh the fact that it's bad. I don't want to watch it.
I have to see that. Like I just heard that is just so bad. So
I just know I'd be sitting there like wishing I'd be doing something else, or it just wouldn't even hold my attention.
and then like I also hate musicals on top of it. Like I wouldn't say hate. I just don't think they work for me because I love Grease. Like Grease is great.
Right. Dude, the last two films that were this category for me were literally the last two Star Wars films. I'm watching it, I'm
Oh
like,
God.
so this is the movie and people are into it? All good.
Uh,
You guys enjoy it? All good.
Jez, but just know we don't enjoy it. And by we,
Yeah.
people who really care.
We've hit the holy trinity now of GG Easy.
Oh, really?
Destiny,
In one
Pokemon,
episode,
Star
we hit
Wars.
every box, dude.
Hey,
Damn.
Patreon listeners, if you have those three and your
Yeah,
bingo card,
bingo.
you guys win.
Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Damn it.
Every single box got checked today.
GG Easy drinking
Damn.
game. They're now dead.
So you enjoy them, or like you're just like you accept that they're bad and you're just like whatever, they're bad.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. It's kind of whatever. And I was like, all right, let me just see if it's what it's about, the last few. And then I watched especially the last two. Like the whole time you're just like,
But see, I'll argue like I agree. I don't really like the movies, but with those like that, and like Transformers, like I know Transformers are pretty bad movies, but I was able to watch them and enjoy them just because it's like I go in knowing like I'm just gonna watch some robots beat each other up,
right.
and just get through the human parts, whatever Shia LaBeouf yelling, but it's cool to see some robots punching each other. So like action movies, if they're bad, as long as they're like higher budget, I think are a little easier to get through. They kind of like mask. It's kind of like a little Band-Aid. And then you're like, this kind of sucks. But then it at least gets to an action scene and you forget about it for like 2 minutes and then it gets back and you're like, all right. So I think that's why it was a little easier with like Star Wars and Transformers. I'm not going to say those are good movies. I enjoy them.
This episode was brought to you by Advanced GG.
Wow.
Is that Mr. Fruit's cherry limeade? Delicious.
Dude, I've been smashing it every morning, twice a day. I'm low-key addicted. It's amazing.
You've been
Twice a
smashing
day?
me
Oh my
twice
God.
a day. That's hot. Thank you.
You really would risk it all for Mr. Fruit.
I'm honored. Blue, what would you say about bad movies? You said Sharknado, right?
Sharknado. I love that shit.
Do you really?
I used to actually like unironically watch sci-fi back in the day because their stuff was awful. It was trash here. But I was like, yo, like this
So
is
you're
tight.
you're a part of the bandwagon that's like, yeah, like I'll watch it because it's bad.
I'm part of the reason why bad like purposely bad content is out
Sharknado
there.
keeps getting funded.
Yeah, exactly. I'm part of the problem.
Yeah,
I
I would
respect
always
it.
see like sci-fi channels, and then as soon as it just gets wild and stupid, or they're like, "We should go, Billy." I'm just like, "All right." Like,
Oh, I love that shit because it's self-aware.
it's just like, "We gotta run from the Sharknado," and they're like, "Let's go."
I'm losing it. I'm not even fucking watching it.
I'm like, these dudes don't even like want to be in this, and they're like, I don't even want to be here. Like, they don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. The sharks don't want to be here. Like, let's get out of
Yeah,
here.
they're even like, I'm CGI and I don't want to be here, bro. Like,
Those poor
Dude.
sharks, man.
Can I give you a potentially hot take example to finish the show on what I thought was literally that you guys may not agree with? Don't know if you saw Westworld season 3.
What?
I'm
But
with you, dude.
my favorite part of Westworld is the park and that whole premise. Dude, all of season 3, I'm like, where are we? None of this matters. I don't care about any of this. Where's the park?
Yeah, I got to like, I think Sydney and I got to like episode 4. And then at that point, I think I talked to Christian about it. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, man. And I was and then I was like, and I don't care to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
I never.
that's one of those shows you have to, it's like, it has all the questions, you wait, and then it all gets answered at the end. I liked it. For me, though, like, I agree with you. Westworld drew me in because of the Wild West. Like, for me, it was like, first the Wild West, then learning it was a park. Then I just got sucked into it, and then I wanted to see where it went. Like, I won't lie, like, I would like it more if it was still, like, set in parks. Like, where there's, like, that, like, episode of them in, like, feudal Japan. Just, like, I lost the game. You know, it's like, I big no. I was like, oh my God, they're doing, and I found it was, like, only one episode. I was like, God! Like, I was like, oh my God, like, each season's going to be, like, a different era or something. This is sick. But then I realized, it wasn't headed that way. And I like where it's gone, but I agree. I know, like, a lot of people, like, they signed up for that, and they're like, wait, where is this going? What's happening? And I totally understand why that could throw people off.
I hate it.
Hey. Well, I hope you
respect your
didn't hate
opinion.
your time on the podcast because we literally have taken you for like nearly 2.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Again, Patreon listeners, or I forgot to start at like 10 minutes in again. Like, I was like, at one point, I went,
Dude, I love that there's like 3 Patreon listeners that have also deafened in the call. They're like, guys, it's too much.
Yeah,
Just
no,
wrap it up.
This hurts.
They can't even hear us.
Yeah, we do
well,
appreciate
Jez,
you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for joining
course.
us.
It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank Danielle for her guest star.
Yes.
Danielle, thank you for the guest star. She literally
Yeah.
turned around and was like, me too. I also guest star. She knew.
Yeah, no, we went really long.
God damn it.
Where can people find you on the internet, Jez?
Literally just search Jez anywhere and you'll find me.
Now, is that with a 3 or an E?
If he does
I
the
think
jazz,
I've eclipsed
TH3.
the TH3. I think just Jez will get me. So kind of a big deal. All good.
Let's go, Jez.
He's
You can find
kind
me
of
everywhere
important.
at Robbie V. No 3. No 3's in that at all.
You can find me everywhere at BlueWestlo.
And Mr. Fruit. What up, dude? I'm going to pass Mr. T one day. You heard it here. Actually, I think I did, but Mr. Bean is still ahead. I'm coming for you, Mr. Bean. You wholesome
He's
son
like
of a gun.
impossible. He has like a weird YouTube channel though. Have you ever like really delved into his like YouTube channel?
Nice to see you guys. We'll see you next
Well,
time.
I'll tell you the next one.
Also, Dada was here.
Oh.
Boom!
Oh my God! This
Instant
episode
80K
had
in the video.
everything. The title
That's
is
the Penta.
Dado Bombshell or Dado friggin'
Let's do it again.
See you next week, everyone.
What is the episode 49 picks?
Dab.